His name is Stephen Bergwijn. He's our number 23. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. He scores a goal and the crowd goes wild, and I just can't seem to get enough of
Stevie Bergwijn. Stevie Bergwijn.
Welcome to the fan show. What a game at the King
Come
Power.
on, Tottenham. Come on!
You remember where you were when we did
pen.
Ajax in Amsterdam? You will remember where you were when we beat Leicester City at the King Power. Simon, what
It's
the
happened again.
hell?
It's happened again. Yes.
Leicester City, it's happened again.
Yes. I can imagine, Stales, I can imagine the Arsenal fans on 90 minutes laughing, cheering, sneering. They've all gone. Where have they gone? Can't hear them. That was brilliant, mate. We put the studio back together. It's all fixed. Nothing's broken other than Leicester hearts at the end.
And my brain.
I still can't breathe properly. So that was absolutely fantastic. Can we go to the first call in there? Are we allowed to do that?
We've got so many callers. Let's start. Let's go. Aryan!
Woo!
How are you feeling,
Oh my
buddy?
god. I'm still excited, dude. That is the craziest moment. This is a crazier, maybe not as much of an emotional moment, but it's a crazier moment than Amsterdam. By far. 2 goals in 80 seconds. That is a Premier League record for the team who was losing. That's the latest
Yeah, we just read
team
that.
has gone
Yeah.
losing
Yeah.
and still won the game. About a 3 or 4 minute gap from the seconds who were Manchester City's league-winning goal. Unbelievable.
Aryan,
Earlier today.
Aryan, 95th minute. We're losing 2-1. Leicester City clear the ball. It's almost time up.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I actually know exactly what was happening, because what happened is I celebrated the equalizer, ran out of my room and came back, and then I was like, oh, let's go. I'm excited, but that's kind of annoying because we just drew. I literally said those words. I was like, oh, let's go. I'm happy, but I'm not really happy because we should have won. The second I see Højbjerg make that pass to Kane, and he releases it, I'm seeing Bergwijn literally, I don't even know. I froze like in time, but I'm also focused. It's that really weird feeling, and when I see it go in off the post, I screamed so unbelievably loud and so high pitched. I just sprint out of my room, and my mom yells at me because she's watching a show and she couldn't understand a thing from the show because I was yelling so loud. I was yelling at the top of my lungs for maybe 2 or 3 minutes straight. I couldn't believe it.
I'm surprised you didn't call the police.
Unbelievable. I've never seen a crazier moment. Well, I'd probably, my neighbors probably called the police. They'd be here anytime now at this point. And here's the thing. This was a gift from God, because today I was meant to go to school. I should be in school right now, but we have a little system because of COVID that tells you if you've tested positive or not. And there was a little false positive on my side, and I know it's false because I tested negative like earlier. So I got this little false positive, and I couldn't go to school today. And I was able to stay home and watch the game, and I freaked out about it. It was just amazing. I was meant to see this. I was meant to see this, man.
The Spurs gods, man, they were watching. They were looking after you today. The Spurs gods were watching over you.
They were watching. They were looking after me. Big time, man. Big time. I should be in school right now.
After what happened in this studio,
I'm so
I think
happy.
Simon and I might have to go back to school. So, Aryan, overall, listen, everyone is buzzing about that result, the way it happened as well. How do you see the rest of our season going? Is this a turning point? Did we just get lucky? Did we deserve it? Is this a message to the board back Conte? What are your thoughts going forward off the back of this result tonight?
One of my thoughts is it shouldn't have come down to that. We deserved it so much. Like Leicester, when I remember first goal, I was like, seriously, we should be 3-0 up right now, and they're 1-0 down. 1-0 down for nothing. For literally nothing. Just a really shit. And it was like both of their goals, were just brilliant individual moments paired with some lucky bounces. Like it wasn't, it's not like a lucky goal. It came out of nothing, but like it was good play. But it kind of just like nothing really went our way today in the attack. Like we had some really good chances and off the crossbar here. Sanchez pulls a little header wide there. Kane puts a little header wide there. Skies it, which he never does. Like just some little things that, but didn't really go our way. And then Reguilon on the other end pulls in a tackle. And I'm thinking, in my opinion, some people are blaming Reguilon for that goal. On any other day, what Reguilon did there was a world-class intervention to stop a goal. But on that case, Daka was just there. And that happens sometimes, right? So these little lucky goals and a brilliant individual moment with a little brilliant backheel pass for Madison to make it 2-1. Like it happens, but luckily we did not stop fighting. This is kind of like a Klopp kind of team right now, where at the 97th minute, 2 goals down, we don't care. Or sorry, 2 goals. I mean, we're 1 goal down. We scored 2 goals. We don't care. We keep going to the very end, and we take it. And this is a brilliant message that's saying, even if we deserve to win, we're not winning. Even when that in most teams, that's a dagger. Everyone's like, oh shit, how did we not win that game? And they're on the back foot. We used to do this a lot. They're on the back foot. They're kind of completely drained, and they kind of just let it happen. We fought. We pressed until the very last minute, and I know teams are looking at that. We've had 2 last-minute winners in 2 back-to-back away games. Everyone's looking at us shivering right now. They know we will fight until the very end for those 3 points, and we'll do it with everything. And that's what we've been asking for from this team for years, and we're finally seeing it on the pitch. Finally, what we've asked for so many years, and it's so amazing, man. It's amazing.
It's what we used to do under Pochettino, wasn't it? Everyone used to know that we would always fight till the end, and it was so good to see that today. What was the turning point in your mind, Aryan, today? Like what made you fit? What was it that turned this game around? Obviously the goals, but like what do you think the critical moment was? Certainly in that third final part of the game.
The critical moment was
bringing on Bergwijn.
Can't really point to it. I guess you could say that. You could say that because.
Were you shouting at the screen when Winks came off? Did you say like, "Oh, we're done now"? Do you think that we're going to be doing these stupid decisions? And when Bergwijn and the Celtic are, let's be honest now, because I was thinking it. I was like, this is going to do nothing, and then we were all proven wrong. Did you think that as well?
But Bergwijn came on for Reggie, didn't he?
Yeah. When I saw Lo Celso warm up, I was literally what I said out loud was, we're probably gonna take Winks off, put Gio on the right wing. Like if it was up to me, I'd take Højbjerg off. But I was like, we're probably gonna take Winks off, and then we put him on the right, and we're just gonna hopefully try and nick a goal last minute. I wasn't too upset. I didn't think it was like a great sub. I just kind of thought it was a standard sub. When I saw Bergwijn come on, I thought, well, we're doing anything for this last minute goal, aren't we? And I wasn't really upset at either substitution. It kind of made sense in my head, like why Conte was doing it. But I definitely didn't expect that to work. I definitely didn't. I was like, yeah, well, it's standard, but the way it worked was just textbook.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah. It was magic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was absolute magic.
Aryan, have you tweeted Ajax yet or not?
I said 250 mil or bust. I said I didn't at them in it, but I did say 250 million or bust, because I don't want to see this guy leave, man. I don't want to see him leave ever. He's scored all his goals are memorable.
Did you tweet Ajax and say thank you for the Champions League semi-final, and also thank you for not paying the right money to buy Bergwijn off Spurs? Have you said your thank yous to Ajax?
God, I should. I'm gonna do right after this interview. I'm gonna
do every Spurs fan.
My club's a gift to us.
This is what we want to see from these kind of players, though, isn't it, Aryan? Because we have our negative thoughts around them, and rightly so, in my opinion. I don't think any of these players can hold their hands up and say they've given it their all since they've been, began their careers at Tottenham. And I think that more and more, some of these players, like Sanchez, for example, who did have an amazing game today, Sanchez, but like some of these players are finally picking up. And Bergwijn, albeit was one of the few games before when we were at the Spurs game together.
Crystal Palace, I think.
Yeah. It was like an awakening. Like, okay, this is
West Ham.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing, but it was better than we've seen before.
The Carabao Cup.
But now we're starting to see more and more of it. And is it just one of those patience things? But for me, it was just like, this is what we want to see, right? This is what we want to see from these players more and more. Not just a one-off and disappear for another few games. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to see Bergwijn do that all the time. Not necessarily in the last minute like that, because I don't think I can handle that anymore. But like, certainly performances like that. That's what we want to see, and especially if you start.
You know what's crazy?
Commitment.
You know what's crazy? This
Tell
was
us.
a player that literally last year everybody was saying, "How are you doing everything right but scoring?"
Hmm.
Remember that?
Hmm.
He was doing everything right but scoring. Pressing, pass, everything was right, but he just couldn't finish to save his life. And now he's coming, what is he, 4 or 5 goals this season so far? And then to score 2, like just 100% shot accuracy, which is an impressive stat for a substitute to win the game off the bat.
Yeah.
I think Aryan. I think the first goal he was. I think the first goal he was just in the right place and he just smashed it in from close range. But the second goal was very, very good. The way he went round the keeper, kept his calm. There's defenders sliding in on the line. Leicester already took defended 2 balls off the line, so he had to put it in that corner. It was nailed on the way he did it was bang on the money.
Yeah. This goal reminds me. It's not quite as good of a finish, but it reminds me of Sonny's like acute angle goal against Everton in the 60s.
Yeah.
Anybody remembers that? Just an unbelievable placement over the ball.
It's a top class finish because
right under
It is-
pressure,
it
he
is.
has a defender and a goalkeeper on him, and just places.
I don't
it
even think he
perfectly
looked
with his
either.
right
I
foot,
can't
too.
remember. I genuinely, honestly, I can't remember either of those 2 goals. I think it was that magical. And
You were busy
energetic.
smashing up the back
I
of the
think so,
studio,
but it was
Simon.
exactly when I was at the Ajax Stadium. Honestly, I had Ozzy Ardiles and
Some
Ricky Villa sat
refurbishments
behind
going
me, and it was the most mental day. But I just remember, I don't really remember the goals. I just remember going ballistic, and it was exactly just that. I'm gonna have to watch it again because I haven't seen the goals since earlier tonight. But I think that just shows you how magical football can be. How much we've missed all these things over the years, like properly, and I feel energized today.
Listen, Aryan, we've got the switchboard is chock-a-block tonight. We've got so many to get through. Before you go, we don't want you to go, but we've got so many to get through. Obviously, after tonight's crazy game.
Yeah.
Quick question before you go.
Right.
That win puts us really in contention for top 4. We've got Chelsea away next, difficult game. We've got a few games in hand. Can we get top 4 without Conte being backed this window? In your opinion, we're going to ask every caller this question tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly answer. I think yes. I think Conte could make it. I think Conte could work it, but I really don't want him to be forced to. I think even if he doesn't get back, I think he could work it. I think the squad is, especially with the way they're performing, it's possible. It's if I'm just saying this because if we don't sign a lot of people in January, I don't think top 4 is dead. I think it's gonna be a lot more difficult than it would need to be, but I don't think it's necessarily wiped away because we haven't even lost a single Premier League game under Conte yet with this same
That's
squad.
true.
We have a bunch
That's
of
true.
injuries. So Romero's gonna be back. Dyer's gonna be back. I think it's really pointless.
Heung-min Son, we've got Sonny coming back.
Because like realistically, right as well. So realistically, the only other team fighting for it is maybe Arsenal and West Ham, and I think we can all agree, regardless of our squad, we're still better than both of them. So I don't want to see him forced to do it. So I really don't want to see him being forced to do that. And one thing before I also leave. I just found out that the same boots, I bought new football boots over Christmas, and they're the same ones that Bergwijn wears, and I just found that out today, and I have my first game with them tomorrow.
Nice.
Well, make sure you score 2 goals tomorrow.
Yeah, come on the pitch on 76 minutes or so.
I'll update you guys against West Ham.
Aryan, much love to
I'll update
you.
you guys against West
Big
Ham.
up yourself, and come on, you Spurs, Aryan.
Thanks, Aryan.
Come on, you Spurs!
All right, guys, before we go to the next caller, we've got a couple of super chats quickly to get through. Brad, just hold on 1 second. We are going to bring you in, the one and only Brad Matthews.
So when the Spurs are marching in, Rodgers bottling it on brand. Kane, the legend, no more Doherty and Bergwijn slander. Get in. Like that.
We've got another one from Jaful. My mate was there and he fell down 5 rows of seats. I'm not surprised, buddy. Another one from Rachel Marshall. A member for 2 months, a gold member. Big up, Rachel. Come on, you Spurs. Thought we were going to lose until some Stevie magic. Absolutely.
Love it. I think we've got one more here somewhere. Here we go. Dan? Turquoise. That second half is a clear sign we need to sign players.
Yeah, I mean, look. Take away those last 80 seconds. everyone's going to be screaming Levy out, Enoch out, signings.
We were pretty much doing
were.
that here.
So we can't pretend that
Yeah.
tonight was, just look at how great we are. We're the top 4 favourites. I think we just need a bit of balance. We need enjoy the moment, be proud of the boys, support the club, absolutely be just everything but positive. But let's stay humble. Let's stay humble and see what happens. Okay, next coming into the studio, we have got the one and only Super Brad Matthews. What's up, Brad?
Guys? How you doing? All right?
We're knackered. We're absolutely knackered.
I know the feeling. I just don't know. I don't know what to say. It was like going into when I heard that Man United had gone 2-0 up and we're losing 2-1.
Yeah.
After I swore, I thought, you know what? When this game ends, I'm switching my phone off.
Yeah.
I'm switching the telly off.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down, stare into space for about half an hour and go to bed.
Yeah.
Even though I won't sleep, and that's it. I had enough. And then it just totally changed. Well, I'm not going to go on the fan show. I'm not going to go on the fan show. I'm going to just go to bed. I've had enough. And of course, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, and it wasn't what it was. It was unbelievable. I was literally, I think like everybody, I think I woke up all the flats here because I was just basically jumping and screaming and laughing and and wooing and whatever. And it was just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And the funny thing was, when we got the equaliser, I didn't react at all. I thought, good, we got a draw. And then when Leicester took off and they went forward, that split second, oh no, don't let them go forward, don't concede. And then of course we got the ball back, and the rest, as they say, is history. But absolutely amazing. I thought Steve Bergwijn, well, he did hit the post, but I thought he'd missed.
I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest. But
it's just incredible.
I started cheering, going Stephen Bergwijn, and I kept going until the ball actually went in because I didn't know. I was like you, I didn't know if it was going to go in. And when it went in, I was like So, mate, I know the feeling, buddy. I know the feeling.
Incredible. It's incredible. It was just like, and then suddenly life is great again. Sort of thing. It's. I mean, before we won the game, I'm thinking, that's it. No points. We've got Chelsea. They're going to beat us. So that's like 2 games. Two of our games in hands, we lost both of them. Now, I'm thinking, well, actually, we might be able to get something at Chelsea. So, I don't know.
Don't do it to yourself, Brad.
I know. It's terrible. I've been 1968 was the first full season I supported Spurs. And I still can't make them out. Every time you think, oh yeah, typical Spurs. When Leicester got the first goal, I thought, typical Spurs of all the chances, and then Leicester go and score. Oh, typical. But no, they surprised me again. So it's amazing. Nothing. What a chance! It's a league game, just 3 points. It deserved more than that. We should have got 6 points for that.
Oh, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen. Everything you just described, that's why we love Spurs.
True.
That's why we support Tottenham. They give us these moments.
Yeah.
And we just get hooked in for another 6 months. We'll just live off that.
I know. That's right. And it's I mean, I'm sort of, having an alcohol-free week, well, this till Friday. But I'll tell you what, if there was some beers in my fridge, I'd be having them right now. But
right.
I thought, no, I won't tempt myself. So there's nothing in the fridge. But it's what can you say? It's, I mean, I can talk about who I thought played well. But at the end of the day, it's 3 points, isn't it? I thought
3 points.
Yeah, I thought the first half they played really well. Actually,
Yeah, I agree.
First half, we had chances. I thought Højbjerg was everywhere. I thought Reguilon was getting down the left. Kane was immense. We played well in that first half, but of course they scored the goal, and then we got the goal back, and you think, oh great, we're going to go 2-1, and Kane missed that chance. They need to go 2-1 at half time, and then the second half, the first 5 minutes we started off all right, first 5 or 10, and then we seemed to sort of fade away a little bit.
We do this quite a bit, don't we, Brad?
I mean, we didn't really give Leicester many chances, but we sort of didn't have them on the back foot as we did in the first half.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, and then of course when they get that goal, it's like, oh gee, I don't believe that, sort of thing. So we came back, and as Aryan said, that's the last 2 wins, both away wins. We've scored in the 96th minute ish. You know, so
I don't think any of us are going to survive the season if we keep it up like this. I'm not going to get through the season like this.
All I want is just to beat a team 4 or 5-0. I just want to be 4 up with
just have it done.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
enjoy the game, enjoy the rest of the game. And at the moment, it's like, I mean, tonight was a surprise, but I know what you mean. If you know, when you're 1-0 up going into injury time, you're at panic stations. You go, oh no, you know. But yeah, so yeah, tonight's a nice surprise. I mean, the guys that are there, you know, I think Brian and Sim and that.
Oh God, they must have. What a game!
Jesus,
I've seen some videos from a few mates there, and it's absolute pandemonium on that goal. Absolute chaos.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, it's amazing. But at the end of the day, it's only 3 points. It's only one game in 38 that we won. So
am I right in saying we've gone? Because I haven't checked. Are we above Arsenal in 4th at the moment?
We are. We're 5th place.
No, we're in 5th, but we're just behind West Ham.
Okay, but we're above Arsenal.
And we've got like 10 games in hand, so it's all good.
Cool.
And
Brad,
go on.
It's just a question we're asking everyone tonight. Obviously, up until the 95th minute, it's all doom and gloom. Season's over, blah, blah, blah. Chelsea next. We have got the win.
Yep.
Do you think that performance alone, or that performance complemented with everything else, you as a Spurs fan, can we get top 4 without signings this window?
Well, I've been on record on the shows I've been on saying that we won't if we don't get 2 or 3 players in.
Yeah.
And I've also said, you know, it don't have to be world beaters, just 2 or 3 players that are decent players that Conte wants. That, you know. Yeah. Tonight, I still think that, but I think the plus side of tonight, I mean, I would have, if we'd have sold Stephen Bergwijn for 20 million yesterday, I'd have been, okay, fair enough. But tonight, I'm thinking, well, if we can get a performance like that out of players like Bergwijn, if they can come to the play, like we've seen Winks do, like we've seen Davis do, I thought even in the second half, I thought Doherty was actually getting into some really forward positions and actually causing trouble. A lot more so than Emerson was. So you think, well, okay. Again, Doherty's one of the players that you think is going to be out the door. And yesterday I thought, oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But I think if they can perform at the level we want them to, then maybe we could do it. But I still would rather get the 2 or 3 players in. Yeah, definitely. Just to sort of, because we're in a great position. And the other big thing, another thing is that we've got Arsenal at home, we've got Manchester United away, we've got West Ham at home. They're 3 really, really big games that we have to win, but at least not lose, because we don't want them to gain points in us by.
It's in our hands, isn't it, Brad? It's in our hands.
Exactly. And the only thing that worries me, I know you could describe tonight as a big game because all of our games now are big games, but the only thing that worries me is we've had a great run under Conte, but we haven't really beaten anyone of note. We played well against Liverpool and probably should have beaten Liverpool, but we haven't won any big games. And the 2 recent big games that we had against Chelsea in the League Cup were absolutely awful. And that's what I worry about, our big game mentality, because of some of the players that have been there since that have been through these losses before. But tonight, they showed resilience tonight. And if they can do that, if they can believe now that they, you know, and as I say, let's see how they go against Chelsea on Sunday. If we put up a good performance against Chelsea and maybe nick a point, then I'll start to really believe. But if we go to Chelsea, another big game, another big club, because let's face it, we don't win our games in hand, we're above Chelsea.
I'd take, Brad. I would take a 94th and 95th minute goal and win against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
I would take I'll take a goal winning the game at any point against Chelsea. But 94th minute would be unbelievable.
It
is amazing.
But I think we win our games in hand. We're only 3 points beyond Liverpool. How crazy is that?
We literally are. We're actually crazy. 4 games behind Chelsea at the moment.
I think this is the frustration of Spurs fans. Look at the position we're in. Go and get 2 or 3 top players, and it's ours. It's in the bag. You know it's in the bag if we do it. It guarantees it, doesn't it?
I think that's a good point. That's a very good point, because at the moment, if we play like we're playing, like we did today, and if your Bergwijns and you know, these players put in like they have been, like they did tonight, then we can do it. But you know that you want to be able to get top 4 and have bad performances in your running. You don't want to have to rely on being at our peak every game to win games to get there. And at the moment, I think we probably do. So you need to get the squad so you can actually have off days but still get the points. But I mean, we're unbeaten under Conte. I mean, it's Spurs record. And the substitutions he made tonight, I think, made a difference. Okay, you could argue that bringing Bergwijn on was luck that you brought him on, and we won the game with him. You could argue that's a bit of luck there, but you make your own luck. And I thought the substituting Doherty, who's had a rough season, and don't get me wrong, I probably would have sold him, and maybe still would sell him, but he actually came on, and I thought he got forward and he caused trouble in that defence.
I was really surprised by him today.
Yeah, he actually got into those areas, and he was there when we got the equaliser. So it's all there. But I'm excited now. We're all excited. We play. We got Bridge on Sunday. Get thrashed, and it's like back to normal.
Listen, stay excited. Every Spurs fan, stay excited. We've got so many people to get through that we can't give everyone the normal time. The switchboard's gone bonkers. So, Brad, listen. God bless you. Thanks for calling.
Yes, guys.
Thanks, Brad.
And we'll
have a great night. Have a great night. I'm going to watch the rest of the TV. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Just got a couple of quick super chats to get through.
I got Stevie Wonder. So we got Aravind saying Stevie Wonder, 5:35 a.m. Worth the day to watch this match. Wow. Up at 5:35 watching that. Absolutely great start to your day. Moninda saying Ajax really relived. I'm assuming that says inject it in my veins.
Inject it, baby.
Absolutely. I feel like my whole veins have gone crazy still. So there's another one here from Cody Mack. Do keep keeping those super chats coming. Manscaped got their money's worth at the death today, lads. Well done. Come on, you Spurs. Don't say that, because then we'll just absolutely love that and want to do more of it.
Cody Mack, what a great super chat.
Absolutely brilliant.
That's epic.
Thank you very much for your gold membership as well. So, shall we go to the world famous Phil? Shall we do that now?
He's big. He's a yid, and we call him Phil. Big Phil. Big Phil. What's up, Phil?
Well, nice pleasant evening in the end. Jesus
Chilled
Christ.
out vibes, right? Chilled out there. Nice and easy.
Well, after the game finished, when when you go into the 90th minute, having dominated and been so, a really good, for me, it was good performance. Yeah. And it's like, we're going to do a typical Spurs. We're not going to get anything out of this. But I just felt there just seemed a lot more togetherness tonight. And I thought tonight, I'm going to big him out. I thought Harry Kane was phenomenal tonight. Really, really good. And just his reaction when Bergwijn scored, it was back to the old kind of Poch days where they were all part of the same team.
I think that's absolutely spot on, Phil. And I think that was very evident at the end. I appreciate the excitement of scoring that goal, or the two goals in that last minute, but the togetherness was so, it was clear as day in that celebration. Like everyone just rushing across. It was literally almost the full imitation of that Ajax game, wasn't it, in the semi-final? It just felt like that. I know it's not as big a game, but it's just like the feeling. That's the feeling we haven't had at Tottenham for such a long time. And I don't really, like you said, I think personally we did play well. I think we played well. And if we had lost that game, I would have probably been like severely annoyed, to be honest, because of what we had done, and it was silly mistakes again, arguably, that cost us those conceding of goals. So, I think it's absolutely brilliant to see us come out with that win. Absolutely loved it.
It's something we haven't done for a while, is it? To be able to, the last 2, maybe 3 seasons, to be able to, play well, result going against us, and it was proper going against us, and to really sort of dig deep. I mean, 90th minute, I'd have bit your hand off at 2-2, but it was just like, no, we're not taking this. And I still, even now, I've rewound it about 4 or 5 times just to watch it, to be like, I did see it, didn't I?
Yeah. 94th minute, mate. I had my head against the wall over there.
Yeah,
I just thought, like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. I can't be bothered with this anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just.
Do you know what's funny? During the stream, I think it was the 91st minute, we said the positive is we can still somehow get a draw, And then 5 minutes later, we're smashing up the studio because we've won it. So it was just crazy.
I was going to say, the other thing that was really good for me as well is for the last 3 or 4 games, for me, Conte's looked totally like disinterested.
Yeah.
All the passion's gone.
Fed
but
up.
when you saw him, and you saw Reguilon almost jumping on the pitch just as we scored, but it was, he was celebrating like he'd won a cup win for the 2-2. And then when we scored the winner, it was like, so
Phil,
you're kind of hoping something's happening in the background there.
Phil, can I ask you a question about what you just said there? Do you think, in hindsight now, because we've seen Conte and his actions tonight, do you think maybe before we played Chelsea, deep down he knew we're not beating them? He knows his players well enough. He knows what he can and can't do with this squad. Do you think there was a self-dejection within him going into that Chelsea tie anyway, especially after the first leg? Do you think maybe that might have played a part in it or not?
Yeah. I think he's made no secret that, when you're looking at player for player, his squad at Tottenham is not a patch on Chelsea. And I guess it's when you look at the first 11 that played in the second leg, how many of our team would started for Chelsea? He knows if he was managing Chelsea, possibly Kane, maybe Lloris, but there's not many there. So there's an awful lot of work to do. But it's just, again, I'll go back to it's just that resilience today to absolutely pull that out of the bag, because that would be monumental. And I think the guys have said it. We win our games in hand, we're 4 points ahead of Chelsea.
Yeah, crazy.
So you could almost effectively say we could lose to Chelsea and still be ahead of them with our game in hand, which is just mental.
I think the last caller, it was Brad, I think, that said it, that if you look at our main rivals for top 4, let's be honest, it's West Ham, Man United and Arsenal.
Yeah.
We have to still play all of them, and 2 of those games are at our ground. So this really is in our hands. Phil, quick question. Everyone's being asked this question tonight. Put your emotions to one side for tonight, which is almost impossible to do. Do you feel Spurs can get top 4 without any signings this window?
Unfortunately, no, because it's, if you could guarantee that the first 12, 13 players that play tonight are going to be fit for every game, then possibly, but they're not going to be able to do that performance week in, week out. They need that little bit of depth. And I just think without it, it's going to be such a tall order. He can improve what's there, but he can't improve them to the lengths that, the others can with their squad depth. So I think it's absolutely essential.
One final question, Phil, from me. Who's your maybe 1 or 2 standout players today?
Obviously Stevie B, but I would say the 2 for me that stood out, Harry Kane was country mile for me, the best player. And I guess probably I thought Sanchez did all right. And again, Skip, he kind of you didn't really see anything of him, but that meant he was doing his job.
You never
properly.
do you? I think I think he's the most underrated midfielder.
Yeah,
it's just so. I loved watching him. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. It's off the ball.
For me,
Skip
Harry,
off the ball.
Harry Kane all day long tonight. I thought, there was a couple of times where Leicester kind of got through. I think it must have been second half, and Ben Davies puts in like a last-ditch tackle, does a square ball in the box, and it's like, that's Harry Kane there.
Yeah.
And, he was right back. So he looked and felt like he was fully fit and proper. And
back into Tottenham.
Yeah.
By the looks of it, yeah.
This is back to this is my club and this is what I'm going to do, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
wins like this will only increase that appetite, that passion for your club. It's moments like this that footballers, they thrive on it. It's just imagine us as fans. We went crazy. We smashed up the place. Phil's probably smashed up his living room. But if you're imagine being a footballer in that match, winning it. I mean, you saw the scenes. They ran into the away section and they were jumping on top of each other and. It just makes you want to try a bit more.
Definitely.
It's that passion. It's ignited again, isn't it? So
and they've obviously got the momentum, haven't they? It's a good in the league. It's a good run, and 20 minutes ago or 20 minutes before the end, I'm dreading Sunday. Now I'm not. You're not so bad because you've got that bit of momentum, and you've got the players thinking, do you know what? We're not as bad. We can do something here. We've got that unity and. That's what it's all about. That's all they can do at this point, unless you get some magical signatures coming through the door.
Phil, we've got I'm saying it to everyone. The switchboard is so packed. We've just got to get through everyone tonight. And the last time Si and I did it, we got told off for being here till 4 a.m. So we've got to try and finish by 12 if we can.
All right, no worries, guys. But thanks ever so much.
I watched your show the other day, Phil.
Great
Really
game.
enjoyed it. Steve
Thank
Perriman.
you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, yeah, Steve Perriman. Anyone who hasn't seen... Phil, quickly promote the show.
Oh, it's Tottenham. We're Tottenham Tantrum Gold, so we show kind of a lot of the Spurs history and classic games, classic content, and just so that the younger of our supporters actually remember there was a time when we were absolutely phenomenal and we used to win things. So
nice.
It's a good reminiscent channel, but thank you for that, guys.
Yeah, love it, man. Love it.
Big up the Phil.
Speak to you guys soon. Then
See you in a bit, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
One super chat, mate. Sorry, Leighton. Yeah. No way we can sell Stevie B now. Please sign 2 players and bring on Chelsea. Come on, you Spurs.
Simon, very quickly before we go to the next caller, there was a. Guys, we're so sorry about that. There's so many people trying to call in that the system crashed, but we're rebooted, we reloaded just to.
When we up ourselves, mate, we were just in the middle of boosting ourselves, and then it crashes. What does that say?
Yeah, so I was just.
You know why?
Why is that?
It's because the next guest is probably thinking, "I'm not having any of that." What they're saying, that we're the better host.
Who's the next guest, Si?
It must be the one and only, isn't it? The one and only Ben.
Oh, it's Ben. Yes,
Absolute scenes, mate. Where have you been this evening? Where have you been watching this absolute carnage of a game?
I was watching it from my couch, mate.
Awesome.
Watching it from my couch. I had some other plans I had to do. We had a Zoom call and stuff during the second half. So I had to go off the camera when we score. I was mental. I was just going all over the place.
Brilliant.
Ben, I hope you've got business insurance because there's a bit of damage back. There's a bit of broken furniture.
We'll have to send you the invoice.
I told you not to do this stream. Ben, listen, buddy, how do you feel, man, after that? That was incredible scenes.
Mate, that is pure elation. I haven't felt like that watching a Spurs game in a very long time.
Yeah.
Very long time. I think from minute 1 today, not from minute 1, maybe 5 minutes in, we got to grips with it. I thought we were brilliant, creating chance after chance at will, literally. Harry Kane was an absolute man on a mission today. You could see he really wanted it. When the goals weren't going in and then Leicester go 1-0 up, you're thinking, oh, is it just going to be another one of those days? But credit to the lads, we go 2-1 down and you really think it's going to be one of those days, but you've got to give credit to the team. The way they pulled through, the way they stuck to it and got those 2 goals right at the end. Absolute carnage, mate. Absolute carnage.
When it was like us, so it was about 94 minutes. I was up against the wall thinking I can't be bothered with this anymore. Were you thinking similar, mate? You must have been thinking like all of us, like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like, we're going to have the old Enoch out and this, that and the other going, and like we were already.
Still are.
And just, obviously. But like, were you the same, mate? You must have been sat there like us, just be like, please, can we not do this? Like, United have just scored the second. I can't do it again.
Yeah, 100%. When Leicester go 2-1 up, just like, how the hell are we losing this game? Never mind drawing. How the hell are we losing? But to be fair, right, we were so vulnerable at the back tonight. Every time Leicester went forward, I felt like they were going to score. They didn't go forward that many times. They didn't pressure us too many times. But every single time that they did, I had that bit of anxiety about me that I thought Leicester were going to score. And when they go 2-1 up, just like, oh, God, here we go again.
The anxiety you talk about, mate, do you think that's why you put 3 defensive midfielders in there?
What did you say, Si?
Ben,
I said, mate, like, Do you think, the anxiety a bit about defence? Because I feel that every time, whether I'm at the ground or watching, I'm like, I don't want to see any attacks against us because we always have the mistakes. It was proven again today on 2 occasions. Do you think that's why he went for the 3 defensive midfielders today? Because I didn't think Leicester were going to be that good anyway, because they were obviously a diminished team. But I couldn't get my head around the 3 defensive midfielders. But do you think it's just purely because we just do not have faith in that back?
No.
Well, you say 3 defensive midfielders, right? But Skip was forward a lot today. Winks was forward a lot today as well.
Their passing
Winks
was incredible, wasn't it?
The quarterback role, but he was doing some fabulous balls. I think Højbjerg today, he was the one who was so central to those 2 goals right at the end. I thought Højbjerg was absolutely immense tonight.
He had a good game.
Yeah,
Højbjerg had a good game.
You know what, it's funny though, because like some of the game though, some of these players were like not doing very well, and then all of a sudden it all switches on, and it's like, why can't you just all of you just do this from like minute 1, please? Just for
I thought
once.
they were today, man. I thought they were today. Harry Kane, two shots cleared off the line, hit the
Harry Kane was
post,
brilliant.
hit the bar. I mean, we had a lot of chances today. We created a lot of chances, and that game should have been dead and buried pretty much at half time.
Ben, do you know what I think it is? Well, I don't think, I know. That's quite arrogant, but I've said for a while now, a lot of Spurs fans have been asking for a box-to-box midfielder, creative midfielder. We need creativity. I think we need a goal-scoring midfielder. It took a midfielder to win it for us tonight, because Harry Kane, as much as he gives us, he can't do it all on his own, and he can't take every chance. There was a couple of chances that fell today to Mora, Højbjerg, I think one to Skip, and they didn't take the chance, whereas a goal-scoring midfielder like a Bale, an Eriksson, Dele Alli in his prime, they're going to score. Yeah. And I think that's the key thing we're missing is goals from the midfield. So when Bergwijn steps up and does that, that's what we need. That's exactly what we need. So
Bergwijn and Kane up top maybe for Chelsea.
It's the consistency with Bergwijn though. That's all it is. It's the consistency that we lack.
Yeah, 100%. We need more goals from different areas of the pitch on our team. And
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
When you're looking at the flanks today, I mean, I don't think I thought Emerson was terrible, first of all, in the first half. I didn't even notice he was playing. Did he get on the ball much? Not really. Reguilon, I didn't think had too much of a good game either today. But Doherty, when he came on, I thought outshone them both, to be honest. I really did. I'm
glad you said that, Ben. I'm glad you said that.
No
why are you glad I said that?
Mate, I think Doherty, this is the thing, like, and I totally get.
He got into good positions.
I totally get what Stel was saying, like, because he's had rubbish games before and he's had a good one. It would obviously look like he's better today than he was before, and we all know that. But you have to also understand that today was a good day for him. I think as soon as he was on that pitch, he was doing things he's not done before, and what he should be doing is getting involved more in those attacking positions. And I've said this to you, Ben, mate, for 2-3 years now. Why can we not start games with more attacking options? And that comes from the defence as well. Why are we not, as a unit, putting pressure on teams more than we are asking them to come to us all the time? And yeah, okay, we try and counter, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as soon as that last probably 15 minutes of the game, we put Lo Celso on, we put Bergwijn on, all of a sudden our wing backs are up there as well. Because you remember I said at the time, look how far forward Reguilon and Doherty were.
I'll tell you something about that.
And that's where it became problematic for the other team. Why are we not doing this to the team?
Simon,
I disagree though.
I think Doherty was brilliant.
I disagree. I think that we were attacking for the majority of the game. We had so many chances throughout the game. I don't think it just took.
I think the chances were there, but I don't think we, as a unit, were attacking at the same time. That's what I meant. Is like
I'll tell you what it is. Okay, if you look at Conte's teams in the past, the wing backs are really, really high up. But for some reason, in the Chelsea Carabao Cup game, they were both deep. They weren't pushing up high, so it put us into a defensive mindset as a team. Today, Doherty was really, really high up, and that's why I agree with you and Ben on positionally. He got into good positions. In terms of the team pushing up, we used to do that under Poch, but look at the players we had: Danny Rose, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Moussa Dembele. They're football players. Yeah. They're ball playing footballers. If you look at our defenders at the moment, you don't look at Sanchez, You don't look at Ben Davies. You don't look at perhaps Højbjerg and say they're really comfortable on the ball at pinging it about. They have moments, but compared to what we had proper footballers. So I think that's partly to do with it.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason. But I agree with Ben, though. I thought we were very attacking today by our past 3 or 4 games. I thought today we were very attacking.
Why don't we do that more, though? Hopefully that is the sign. That is what we need to do moving forward. Like, stop messing about with all this defensive stuff because we know we're not good at it anyway.
I agree.
Just fucking go
I
for it.
think that's going to give us a lot of confidence.
100%.
I think it's going to give us a lot of confidence now to kick on. I mean, we're in a brilliant position in the league. Stel, you still taking the bet?
If we get into the bet, it's too complicated for some people, apparently.
Well, I think there's two days of confirmations of what the actual bet was there, I think. So,
in fact, Ben, we haven't asked you the question. We've asked everyone else tonight. So I know it's difficult. Put your emotions to one side for tonight, which is an impossible thing to do because it was just an unbelievable emotional event for us. But do you still believe? Do you believe that Spurs can get top 4 without signings this window?
I think we can. I think the league table right now, us and all our competitors, points per game, I think we're the best ones out in the top 4 race. So I think that proves we can. But will we? With Man United, I expect to get better second half of the season. I expect Arsenal to carry on performing the way they are. West Ham, I'm not really considering them really in the top 4 race, to be honest. I think they're going to fall off. I think we can, but I don't think we will, if that makes sense. I don't think we will. I think we need a couple more players now just to kick on. But if we get those couple of players, I think that makes us favourites for the top 4.
I agree.
Believe that.
yeah,
I agree with that.
it solidifies it. What do you think about Chelsea, mate, coming up? What do you think that we're going to do
It's
there?
the hope that kills us.
This Chelsea game is the worst game to come up after a result like that. You want a game where you're going to win. I just can't see us.
What do you think, though?
Stamford
Like
Bridge.
the last few minutes of the game we've had tonight, though, surely that's going to put so much power into these players to be like, look what we can actually do. Like, I'm not expecting like an amazing performance against Chelsea, but there's belief maybe that we can take into.
Bro,
I'm always going to
won-
believe, mate. I'm telling you now, we're winning 3-1 at the weekend.
We've won one game at Stamford Bridge in my lifetime.
Yeah.
One game.
I'll tell you one thing, right? Chelsea's vulnerability is when teams go at them.
Yeah.
Liverpool proved
That's
it.
what I want to see.
Brighton proved it twice. Go at them.
Yeah.
If we play with the spirit of tonight, we can potentially do something. I'm not saying win, but at least get a draw. If we go there with the defensive kind of way we did in the Carabao Cup, we're going to get peppered.
Exactly. Take it to him.
I'd rather go at them and lose than sit back and lose 1 or 2-0 because we just buckled under the pressure.
I'd rather us go for it,
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Look, let's
from
be
the Tottenham.
honest. Let's be honest. Chelsea aren't playing well at the moment, right?
Yeah.
They're not playing well. They're losing points all
Unless
over.
it's Spurs.
But when they played against us in the semi-final, both legs, they outplayed us both legs. No two ways about it. But the 3 goals that they scored all were from our own doing,
Yes.
own goals,
Yeah.
bad mistakes, Tanganga mishaps and stuff like that. So if we can just solidify the defence, we actually do have some sort of a shot to take points out of Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
We really do.
I'll tell you what, if Dyer and Romero return for that game, that'd be unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's going to come a bit too soon for them, unfortunately. But one thing I want to say before I go, I'm so happy for Steven Bergwijn, man. Stevie B.
Yeah.
I've been an advocate for him. Since he's joined Spurs, I've always thought he had the talent. He's just very much a confidence player. If he can kick on from that and show the confidence that he did show, he had a bit of the scuffle with one of the, I think it was Sionchu or one of the Leicester players.
Yeah.
And then he took that and used it in a really good way, scored 2 goals, win us the game. I really hope he can kick on from here. Do you really think we're going to sell him after that?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
The thing is, with speculation that we were trying to sell him and Ajax wouldn't pay the asking price, it's so difficult to believe. Or what do you believe? What do you not believe?
Yeah.
It's just until it happens, you never
all
know.
talk
That's
anyway,
kind of how I
Let,
look at
let,
it.
let me put it like this, Stel. Beginning of the season, Tanganga's about to go on loan to Galatasaray or something. He has a great performance against Man City, and they're like, "Oh no, Tanganga can't go on loan now. Look at the performance he's put in." And I think this could be something similar. This could be
Like a
something
turning point.
It could be a bit of a turning point.
Conte said he's done his evaluation, right? does tonight's game change his evaluation? I doubt
I
it.
don't think it changes his valuation, but he always said Steven Bergwijn's a player that he can rely on and trust on.
So then the rumours of us trying to sell him are false then? That's what. Yeah, this is what I mean. We don't know.
We don't know. But what he's saying and what we're hearing in the press are two completely different things, aren't they?
We need to kick Ben off his own show because we've got callers to go through.
Great job for you guys tonight. I'm hearing the rumours that you guys are better than me and Sim, but not having that whatsoever. But great job.
I don't know. We'll put that to a vote, mate.
I think we should do a poll on that.
You know what? I'm happy if you guys are better, to be honest. I'm happy. More games for me.
Exactly, mate. Good to see you, brother. And I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Big upside, big ups.
Love you, man.
Great job as always.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Come on, Tottenham.
We've got one more super chat from Rambro. Not Rambo, but Rambro. Conte, as the wing-back whisper, has his work cut out for him with what he has work with what he has to work with. Oh no, top 4 without proper recruits. Come on, you Conte Nentals. I think he doesn't believe in our wing-backs at the moment. Listen, thanks for the super chat.
I've got one from Brett here as well, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Found one from Brett. I hope this is not another example of papering over the cracks of how poor our squad is and that we still need 2 or 3 players this window. I think that's true.
I think everyone agrees with that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. It is very easy to be like, how can you say this? Like, you're being negative. It's not. We're not taking away from the game. It's
being honest.
The facts are there. Yeah, it's been like that for a long, long time. But we have more guests who come on. Mikey. I hope it's Mikey.
Magic Mikey in the house. Come on, you Spurs.
Hey guys. Hey
I want to
guys,
hear a
how
shout.
are you?
I want to hear shouting, mate. I want to hear "Come on, you Spurs."
Come
from
on,
both
you
of you right now.
Spurs.
We've just scored 2 goals in the last minute of this game. Let's get excited.
I'm sorry, bro. Literally, I was on my. Leah can tell you this. So, first of all, I wanted to say I wasn't planning on joining this because again, I'm on holiday for the week with my
Where are you?
girlfriend. And
Where's your
I'm in
holiday?
Bulgaria at the moment.
Oh,
But
very
after
nice.
After that, I couldn't not come on. It's been such a. Did you not tell him how I reacted, bro?
He was screaming. He was trying not to scream because I have a younger brother. He was absolutely. He was the happiest I've ever seen him in a fucking ages.
That's
It
funny.
was so amazing.
So it's probably more like, oh!
the passion.
Yes, it was.
Bro, when
The happiest you've ever been in
cleared off
ages. Only Spurs can do that to you. Only Spurs can do that to you, man.
When Højbjerg was cleared off the line by Albrighton, I was punching a pillar. I was like, come on, just score, please. But man, Bergwijn has come on and done the unthinkable. You know, actually, I was speaking today and I joked that as soon as he's linked with Ajax, this happened. So, you know, I don't know what permutations you can get from that. But,
Would
know,
you
maybe it's an
keep him,
Ajax thing.
Mikey? Would you
I
keep
would.
Steven Bergwijn?
I mean, if you set him after that, you're heartless. You can't set him after that. Like, I as soon as I said it, I was like, I know that he was one of the few names, along with maybe Ndombele, Doherty. I would say that Bergwijn slander can stop from that. I wouldn't necessarily agree with the Doherty slander can stop because he never covers himself. Like, he gave the ball away cheaply a couple of times today. And if you take away the last 80 seconds, as a team, we just didn't take our chances today. I know that magic will live on in the memory, but in the here and now, I don't like to be a pessimist. I don't consider myself a realist, but over the 90 minutes, we weren't at the races enough today, giving balls away cheaply in the midfield, even though they were brilliant today. I thought Skip was making the 4 runs. It just, something wasn't clicking in the final pass, like it's been over the past month or so. Everything
long time.
well, and then the final ball or the final touch or the cross is, and I was Leah can tell you again, we were both calling for Bergwijn to come on from half time.
Yeah, he needed to come on. Like
That position is interesting as well, though, isn't it? That he came on to. In that you talked about it, playing down the middle is our biggest strength. And when he plays in the wings, I don't think he's that effective. But when he's played down the middle, the games he's come on, he's done things like this.
The reason I say playing down the middle is our best strength is because when I look at the players we've got at our disposal, I think our best assets are in the middle. I don't think we've got good assets out wide. I just think we're lacking. We don't. Brian Hill potentially could do something, but you're looking at proper. If Son moved back out to the wing, then yeah. But we have no one of Son's caliber. But that's the caliber needed out wide if we're going to be effective. So I'd be more central in our attack because I think that's where we've got.
So going back to Mikey's point there, then about being the final thirds, the problems that we've had, and we know that. I've said it for ages and ages that we just don't have that. Not necessarily that. Well, it is. We are lacking clinical stuff at the top as well, but there's just no like piece of the puzzle like the jigsaw fixing at that top end. Maybe, just maybe, not necessarily fully today, but what I've seen of Bergwijn recently, maybe he's the answer that we just hadn't found yet in that particular position that is going to be supporting Harry Kane in that middle. They cause the problems. Maybe that is it. Maybe this is finally something has clicked. Who knows? But other than Bergwijn, mate, who's maybe like the 2 or 3 key players that sort of stick out to you in this game that you, not necessarily maybe based on previous games, but who stood out for you today?
So for me, I think, well, again, Ben Davies, I've always said he maintains his level. Ben Davies was good. I won't go through the entire squad, but I think Sanchez was, I think,
Sanchez was good today, Mikey.
Brilliant.
I think he was good today.
Absolutely brilliant.
Tanganga's been awful the past few games. Like, he was at fault for one of the goals. I think his deflection took it. I mean, obviously you can't fault him for that. His deflection took it past the Reece, but I think Tanganga was again out of his depth today. I'm not seeing Tanganga filled with confidence, and I want Dyer back ASAP so Sanchez can get pushed back up to the right and get Tanganga back on the bench, because I'm not convinced by him. But the players I think did stand out. Obviously Kane took his goal, missed a few chances, but got the ball rolling for the equaliser. And I'd say I give a shout out to that midfield line of. I know Winks came off pretty. I wouldn't say early, but he came off. But I want to. I
wasn't happy with that.
Højbjerg looked very tired over the past few games, and I think him having the week's rest and probably not training as hard. He looked fresh again today. Not as fresh as I've seen him, but he looked fresher. And I think Skip was. He was making the forward runs.
Absolutely brilliant. Really... The passing from Winks and Skip today was absolutely brilliant. Like, just absolute beautiful passes. That, I mean, there was one earlier in the game. I think Skip had managed to pass one like round the back of the defence, which is absolutely brilliant. That's the kind of pass that Harry Kane would do. And then you've got Winks. I think was arguably one of the passes through for the goal, if I remember. But all round, I think we played quite well today, actually.
Yeah. For me, it was the best away performance under Conte so far.
That's Stelios with his point.
That's we struggled away from home. We struggled away from home under Conte. I think overall, we had good possession. I remember seeing we had over 20 shots, like 5-6 on target without scoring until obviously we played. But there is Bergwijn as a final piece of the puzzle. Interesting. I think he can be, but I think I'd rather look for someone in the transfer market that's proven, because taking a punt on Bergwijn is adapting his game to fit the role that we need him to play. Whereas if like you got talking about a goal scoring midfielder, that would, like an Eriksen. I'm not saying. Well, I mean Eriksen is free, but I don't think Eriksen is the answer, because obviously of his heart condition, he won't be at the level he used to be. But I think a player like Eriksen, I think, is probably priority. I don't think getting in someone like Frank Kessie, who plays pretty much the same role as Højbjerg, Skip and Winks, is our answer. But that being said,
Mikey, would you have taken Coutinho?
Would I have taken Coutinho? That's an interesting question. No, because I don't think Conte works with creative midfielders like Coutinho. Like you've seen like
he had Eden Hazard at Chelsea.
Yeah, but Eden Hazard is a special player. I'm not saying Christian Eriksen isn't, but Eden Hazard is probably top on his Chelsea day top 5 best player in the world. He was sensational, but he was coming in off the left. Conte was playing almost a front 2 with Costa and Hazard, or playing a front 3 and playing Hazard in the Son role that we play now. So I think Hazard is a bit different to Bergwijn in the way he plays, but I still like to see us move into the transfer market for someone, definitely.
That
You've
would
got
probably
other
be your
callers,
last
so I
question.
won't hold you up.
Coming up.
Yeah, Mikey, we're going to make this a super quick last question because we've got callers to get through. But can we get top 4 without any new signings this window?
No. We need at least one signing because our problem position is still in defense at that right wing back spot. Emerson was hooked at half time. He didn't really do any. He was kind of absent. I don't remember memorable. Oh, Emerson wasn't memorable in the first half, and I know Doherty was okay. Nothing special. Obviously, he gave. He was the one making his runs. I think Doherty played well, but I wouldn't say he's done anywhere near enough to claw back his position in the squad. But I do think our
in frame.
Yeah, sorry. I do think that we overall today had a pretty good game, and signings are definitely needed. So Levy, back out your wallet and back Conte because he's doing stuff that we haven't seen since Pochettino's day. Come on,
There you go.
Spurs.
You heard it from Mikey. Levy, get that wallet out. Mikey, thanks for the call in, and also to your partner. Thanks for joining us as well.
Thanks, guys.
Big up to the both of you.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Thank you.
Just got a quick couple of super chats.
Yeah, I've
Simon's
got
going
one
to
here.
get through.
Leicester fans deserve that. Very strange bunch.
There's one above that as well
I've
from.
got that one. I think I've done that one.
I hope this is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
another
I've done that
example.
one.
Yep. Okay.
I've done
Beg your pardon.
I'm ahead of the game.
All right. Beg your pardon. So coming in now, all the way from the United States of America, from Atlanta, Georgia. It's the one, the only Will Stewart in the house.
You guys are way too low key after that right now on this fan show. Like I watched your guys' watch along, and still, by the way, you're probably one of the best like play by play commentators. You need to change your profession.
We're tired,
I'm telling
Will.
you right now.
Simon and I are knackered.
I think the thing is, Will, I've 99% of my energy went in that
dead.
2
Oh,
minutes.
of course. It's
I can't
but
feel
it's like
my
that.
feet.
But
I
I gotta bring it out. I gotta bring it out. Right.
What's he gonna do?
I love Steven Bergwijn. Steven Bergwijn loves me. I love Steven Bergwijn. Steven Bergwijn loves me. Come on.
Thanks for calling in, Will. We'll see you soon.
That's hard to follow up, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I've never hated on Bergwijn. I've hated on a lot of Spurs players. I've never hated on him, but I've never really loved him. But now after that, I like the way you finished that. Like him, you could just see it in his face after he shoved that guy to the floor. It's like he was, and then he jumped into the stands. I thought he was going to go punch some Leicester fans in the face or something. Like I didn't know what he was going to do. But what a match.
Will, do you know what's funny, right? I was on your show. I was on your show a couple of nights ago, and I said to you, I just want to see a Tottenham team that wins 4-0, 5-0, dominate games. And Will was like, no. I want us to be in close games and we just win it. 3-2, 4-3. I tell you what, you got your wish.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. I got to channel my inner Marcelo. Man. But
I'm telling you, bro.
I got to channel my inner Marcel because he's not here today. Somebody's got to be the hype man on this stream. Whew. I don't know. And I've been holding. I have to sit there I have to hold this hype in and sit in the back for like an hour, waiting to come on. You know what I'm saying? It's hard.
So
What
were you explain your emotions then in that last few minutes? Where were you? What you were doing? And
at 2-1 down. Where were you?
You look like you got a nice layout at the back there. I hope you didn't smash it up like we did this studio.
No, but the funniest part was when after you smashed it up, you're like, I gotta figure out how to put this studio back together.
Yeah.
I was cracking up.
Well, we found some
laughing.
That was you.
So,
Yeah, that was you. I was just sitting in the garage like I normally do when I watch Spurs matches. If you go back to 18 months ago when I first started coming on the channel, I like to sit on my workout bench and watch Spurs matches. And yeah, just screaming. My voice is hoarse. I was about ready. I have my show later on tonight that I do, and I was getting ready to have it be one of those, downer, bummer, depressor THFC rant streams. But after that, man, it was. There are some things that I could point out that I thought Harry Kane was really, really good on the ball, but not very clinical in front of the goal. like the header and a couple of other shots were a little bit. He just seemed to be a little bit off his mark, shooting wise, finishing wise.
I think the header he was unlucky with. I don't think he could have done much better. But that shot where he went 1-on-1 and hit it over the bar, that was not.
Yeah, like a mile over the bar. Yeah, that. And then two, I thought Winks going off was wrong. I probably would have taken Højbjerg off.
Yeah.
Out of the three, and to be honest with you, until Bergwijn came on, I thought like with Winks coming off and Lo Celso coming on, the pace of the match actually slowed down. I didn't think that Gio played well today. I know you love him still. I know you love him.
There was a balance.
But
changed, yeah. Will,
it just died for me. Yeah.
What did you make of Doherty's performance tonight? Because I'm not convinced, but most Spurs fans are saying they're like, yeah, the game changed. I think he just got into good positions, but not really effective. What was your take on Doherty tonight?
Look, I thought positioning wise, I thought he looked better. Still, I mean, like his end product and putting, balls into the box and stuff like that. I mean, like he got lucky off that, the chest type of a thing. But I mean, he wasn't horrible. I don't ever think Doherty's ever been like super, super, super bad. He's just been very like unimpressive. It's just kind of one of those always, 5.5 out of 10 type performances week in, week out. Today, I'd probably give him like a 6.5, 7. He's right now. Look, is there a big difference between him and Emerson? I'm not Emerson's biggest fan, but Emerson's a lot younger and has a lot higher ceiling. So I mean, if one of those two are going to go, it's definitely going to be Doherty for me. But tonight though, he did all right. But would even somebody like a Traore do better in that type of same instance? I think so. So if you're buying Traore as an upgrade on Doherty, I think it's an upgrade. Even though Adama doesn't have a super great end product either. He's definitely a lot more physical, a lot faster, a lot better on the ball. Even his balls into the box, his passes in the box, his crosses into the box are of a higher quality than Doherty. So for me, sorry, you did well tonight, but you still got to go.
Will, you said that you would have taken Højbjerg off. I personally thought Højbjerg actually had a really good game tonight.
It wasn't bad, but I just think out of the three of them, Skip and Winks were better. And so if you're going to do something to liven up, like pull Winks into that, just leave him sitting in the hole. And if you're going to bring Lo Celso on, who I thought was not good, to be honest with you. Lo Celso needs some time somewhere, doing something.
Will's trying to be nice.
I'm trying. It's hard.
Do you think that we're asking everyone the question tonight? Do you think Spurs can get top 4 without any signings this window?
No, I don't. Even after a performance like tonight, like if we're going to continue to grind these out against a busted up Leicester team, like I posted on my Twitter today a list of Leicester's players out. And big ups to them for actually coming up and showing up to the match rather than running away
100%.
Scared like those
point.
South Londoners did.
That's a great point.
So, yeah. But, guys, I got to go. I told my wife I'd be out of here by 6:30, and it's 6:30 now. So, come on, you Spurs, and check out the channel if you want to hear some more. We'll be on later tonight. But stay strong, stay Spurs, fellas.
Send me the link.
I will.
That was Will Stewart, THFC Rants. Get over there to his YouTube channel, give him a like and a subscribe.
We had a nice song there as well. I can't believe it.
Do you know what? He's actually got a really good voice.
We're treated very nicely there.
He's got a good voice.
Very privileged.
Okay, next. Coming in, one of the biggest diehard fans that supports Tottenham around. The one and only Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph, my man.
Hi guys, you're right.
Just about. How are you?
Yeah. Brilliant. Went right to the wire tonight, but main thing was just managed to get the result. But
absolutely.
I'll say, first and foremost, I actually thought today's game, I was saying to my dad when watching it, actually, it's the best we started the game for a while, in terms of after the first 10 minutes. I thought we were on top of the game, like creating a chance after chance after chance. I just couldn't believe the amount of chances we were passing by though. And you're thinking it's one of those days when it's not going in. Sanchez header just past the post, Harry Kane onto the bar. all these chances as well. You know, I mean, Lucas Moura's shots, Michael saves. I mean, we're dominating the match, and you're thinking surely you've got to score at some point.
Yeah, right.
And then the most typical thing happens: Leicester go and score at the other end, and one of arguably the biggest run of play goals I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But
it's a very Spurs thing to do, isn't it?
Twice.
It is.
Twice in one game.
Yeah. Everyone in the comments, exactly that point, as you just mentioned, was literally saying that exact same thing. Like, we've missed these chances, we're going to regret it. And football is like that. It's so predictable.
Yeah. And then, but obviously, to be fair, I've got to say that the reaction from the boys is really good in terms of. Obviously, I mean, I think we have to score eventually, and obviously, I was a bit tentative. I was celebrated, but I was a bit worried that somehow it came up in somehow offside again. But luckily, it wasn't. For that goal, it's a really, great goal that he scored. You know, when he come inside and finished it, and then obviously we're going at halftime 1-1. But then I'm thinking, second half, just carry on like we're doing, and then we'll still win the game comfortably. I'm thinking at this point, but then obviously we're looking more like scoring the second goal. He makes a sub with Doherty. Which I think actually is a good sub, because at the end of the day, Emerson didn't do anything in the first half. I've got to be honest, it was really poor, I thought. And I think the right sub came on. I mean, obviously, Doherty is the only one that can come on for him, so it came on. And to be fair, had one of his better games. I mean, that still doesn't mean necessarily that, that he should be
of course.
stepping the team, to be honest with you. But he had one of his better games with Spurs, so I'll give him that, his credit. And he was getting forward, and obviously in the end did have an impact, obviously in the one of the last goals. But obviously just going back to the game, he said, I mean, literally like we're on top, and then suddenly Maddison gets that second goal, and you're thinking, oh God, we're somehow going to end up at least only drawing maximum when in a game we really should have won. And then before this game started, I was targeting 4 points out of like this game and Chelsea. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh God, I was targeting 4 points. 4 points would be great if we get it. 4 points is great. Arguably thinking, we win this game and then get a draw on Sunday. That's what I was hoping anyway, and then thinking would happen most realistically. But then obviously it gets to the last minute. I mean, throws Bergwijn on, obviously, and then obviously it turned out to be a winning sub, unbelievably. But I think it's literally that generally was like the Ajax game all over again. It
really was.
The funniest thing is that it's ironic that Bergwijn's been so linked with Ajax, and then after that he goes and scores like those sort of goals, in the Ajax-like game fashion, and he's been linked with Ajax. You know what I mean? It's just a bit of a funny
3-2 as well.
Yeah,
3-2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
absolutely.
Same
mad.
scoreline.
How mad did you go when those goals went in?
I mean, I was definitely screaming around the living room, put that way, and running around the living room.
There's a lot of angry mums and dads and wives and husbands tonight that aren't happy with the volume in the living room tonight. If you're a Spurs fan,
but yeah, to be honest with you, look, my mum kind of was lucky in the other room, so it's all right. But me and my dad were joining in. Just absolutely
awesome, man.
I mean, and luckily for a fact, luckily my next door neighbour didn't come around and knock on our door, so it's all right. We're all right. I think.
you probably would have jumped on her, Joseph, and given your neighbour a big hug.
yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, luckily, I understand. Luckily, I think my neighbour knows that I'm massive Spurs fans. I think they understood because they know the games are going on. So luckily, I think that's probably why they didn't actually come around and sort of.
You're going to see a big for sale sign on their house tomorrow morning.
Just to warn you, I'm a Spurs fan. That's what you have to say to your neighbours these days.
Yeah.
Joseph, are we going to get top 4 if we don't sign any players this window?
Yeah, obviously that question was coming. I knew. Do you know what? It's I actually do think we will still if we don't get top 4. If we don't sign anyone. Just only reason because the other teams around us are all quite inconsistent. I mean, like I know Man United won tonight, but they've been pretty poor over the last month or so, season really. But they've been poor for a while. Arsenal, I mean, they've had some great spells. They're a very inconsistent team again. I mean, they don't know if they're going to turn up or not, whatever. But and I think that what helps us the most is that we've got the best manager out of the 4 teams competing. So I think that
absolutely,
Conte might be able to improve our players enough.
Yeah.
Like the only thing is, but I do agree with other callers though in terms of, I think obviously it would wrap it up getting top 4 if we did 2 or 3 signings in. 2 signings in would wrap it up. I think 2 of like two Conte-like players would probably wrap this up.
Yeah, brilliant.
Maybe
I think.
certain, but, yeah. Go on.
I think most people that have said no tonight to top four without signings, their concern is the first kind of 11, 12, 13 players, we're not worried about what they can do. It's when we have an injury, a suspension.
Yeah.
It's when it's squad depth that they're concerned about, which is why 2 or 3 players increases the squad depth, which is what I think most people are thinking.
Yeah, and I totally get that point. I mean, but then again, what I say about that, to be fair, is obviously we have got 3 players that are injured that yet to come back as well.
Yeah,
like
true.
Son,
Yeah.
and Romero, that
Critical positions as well.
Yeah, absolutely critical. And then I mean, how good was it? I mean, I know he didn't have his best game today, but it was great to see Reguilon back, in my opinion, tonight as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I
Good to see him
think.
back.
I mean, both. Well, when Emerson went off, I felt like the whole team was in cohesion with each other, like actually going forwards as a unit, and I think that's what, in the end, helped a lot, because once we got those other 2 attacking players on, it was like Leicester didn't know what to do with themselves, because at the other end, when we were conceding the 2, because we're pretty poor at defending, you could see like 3 or 4 Leicester players, and there's only like 3 Spurs defenders actually woken up, but then we just completely switched it, and I think the wing backs, yeah, they could have done maybe a bit better with some crosses and stuff like that. But in general, just having them up there was enough to distract Leicester. And like Stelios says, that whole ammunition through the middle, it's almost like we know the wing backs weren't amazing, but they were enough to detract people away, because they could see that the passes might come out of those areas, but then it left the channel open in the middle. And then at that point, we had 2 or 3 players in those positions, and Leicester were falling all over the place like we were, and that's what I want to see more of. So
Do you know what's hilarious? The man of the match tonight was Maddison, because
they
at
get the
2-1,
Conte get man of the match at that point.
he got the man of the match in the.
How funny!
It's Stephen Bergwijn all day long.
Funny story about Maddison, though. I mean, just going off topic, is that obviously of course, the 1 week, I mean, I did my FPL transfers, but I generally forgot to do my team, like, in the deadline. And then the one person that I had the pace of Mo Salah as my captain was Maddison. Funny enough, Maddison as my captain. I was like, God. I was like, because Leicester's game got called off at the weekend as well, which didn't help. Obviously, I'm thinking, oh, God, he's getting Spurs. You know what I mean? He's my captain. But so, in a way, I was glad he scored, but obviously glad that Spurs got the 3 points. So, I mean, that's like arguably the best thing I could do myself in fantasy football. But just another point as well I was going to make was, by the way, just going back to the Spurs game as well, that, I mean, I see what people are saying about, some people saying they would take Højbjerg, they would have taken Højbjerg off tonight. But to be fair, I thought we had one of his better games.
I agree.
Today. I thought he was really good. I just think he was, and you look at his ball recovery, really good. And I think actually his passing on the whole, some of it's long range passing as well, actually better than he normally is. And I think that you look at those, obviously that second goal, he played a great ball through Doherty. And then obviously that caused chaos. And then the last goal, we actually intercepted it.
Yeah.
Because of his defensive positions. And then we actually gave us the opportunity to go on the attack to win it later on like that, it seems like that. So you got to say that Højbjerg must have earned his credit today, I think, by staying on the pitch.
Absolutely good point, mate.
I agree with you, Joseph. I completely agree.
Yeah, I just think he's. But then the thing is, guys, now the question is obviously, one, are we going to get any signings? I mean, I think we are going to get. I still think we're going to get 2 signings. But second of all, another question is can we follow up against Chelsea on Sunday?
All right, but we'll answer the questions quickly because we've got to go to the next caller. But let's answer the first question. Are we going to get any signings? Simon, what do you think?
Being a Spurs fan and knowing Enoch, it's going to be a really long haul. Is Traore the answer? Probably yes to add to the squad and the improvement of the squad, but we'll definitely need more than that. I don't think we should just sign a player just to tick a box if we think it's actually going to be lucrative. But I don't know. I just can't. I have no faith in our board at all ever. So my answer to that one is I don't really know. And
I think we'll make one signing. I don't know who.
Probably be Traore.
I don't know who.
And that would just be it to tick the box for one more January. Yeah. And then the other question about Chelsea, I always think that we'll win anyway. So But in general, in general, I think, like Ben said earlier, I don't know if it's too early or not for Dyer and Romero, but at least if one of them could be back, I think we might be in a stronger position than we were perhaps a couple of weeks ago. I think the mentality has changed a bit as well. I know it's a diminished Leicester team, but irrespective of the opposition, it was about how we were playing. And I think that we were playing a lot better than we have been. So we can take that to Chelsea. Even a point would be absolutely phenomenal at this stage of the season, at the situation we're in.
With the games in hand on Chelsea, massive point.
Exactly.
Yeah, 4 games in hand over them. You know what I mean? You've got great chance. Yeah.
I'm not confident going at Stamford Bridge, but that's only because I've just got this. I think it's ingrained in with me where I'm broken when it comes to Chelsea. They always have the last laugh, and we never get any luck there. Just a bit of luck. Yeah, it's just
never.
But who knows?
In my lifetime,
who knows?
In my lifetime, we've already won there one time in my lifetime. Dele Alli's 3-1 win. That's the only time in my lifetime.
I think everyone's lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it's going to be hard in that respect, but. But the last point regarding the signings, the only thing is that obviously I do think we'll get a Dom, but I'm wondering if it's going to be 2 signings. I just wonder who that second signing will be and what position and stuff as well. That's the thing I wonder, what position. It's critical.
I think it's going to be very difficult. The market is very expensive.
We're going to find out within the next 11 days.
Players are out of contract in the summer as well. A lot of clubs are waiting until the summer for the free transfers. That's one of the big key things that's going to stop January.
Joseph, we've got to get through the next callers. Buddy, thank you so much for calling in. Always appreciate when you call in.
No worries, mate. Yeah, and then do you know what? Let's just back the boys until Chelsea and stuff. Let's back them, and then
of course,
yeah, man. We're all behind it.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks, buddy.
Come on, you Spurs.
See you later.
Thank you, Joseph. Great call there from Joseph. Got a few super chats.
Yeah, one, Will's respect to Harry Kane. I think that was when Will was calling in.
So Dietrich's Kane and Will have got this ongoing bromance over Harry Kane.
This explains it.
Yeah. We've got another one here from Beto A777. What a game. Bloody hell. Come on, you Spurs. Why not start Joe Rodon over Joseph Tanganga? Come on, you Spurs.
Oh, I have another one here, actually. Shay, I live in Oz, AUS. I'm assuming that's Australia, not Austria. And woke up on the 89th minute. You're welcome.
What a time to wake up.
You imagine just turning your TV on and going, oh, it's going to be this again, isn't it? And then bang.
In 6 minutes, he's gone from anger, depression, frustration.
He probably turned it off.
Relief, delirium,
I think
pandemonium.
At 90 minutes, I've been gone, I'm not doing this again.
It's true.
Chance.
You're switching it off. We've got another caller. He goes by the name of Miles Robinson in the house. What's up, Miles?
Let's go. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
We're knackered, buddy. We're absolutely knackered after that.
I'm exhausted. Miles, how are you feeling?
Here. I am over the moon. I am over the damn moon for this one.
Say it proud, man. Say it proud.
What was going on there, mate, in your household at that time in the last few minutes? What was going on?
So my family and I were in a restaurant for the first half, and well, how do I say this in a way that makes me sound not so annoying in a restaurant? When Daka scored, I was pretty darn scared. It was a pretty good goal. It wasn't how do I say this? It was a mistake by Tanganga.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a mistake by Tanganga.
Did you swear in the restaurant?
I did when Harry Kane scored. me and my dad are staunch Spurs supporters. My family, my entire family is Spurs. Awesome. And for Harry Kane to score, I said to my dad, Harry Kane always scores at Leicester. And he's like,
he does,
yeah. And I was like, watch. Yeah. everyone in the restaurant just went, oh, for fuck, what? But then second half, Madison's a good player. We can't deny that.
Where were you for the second half? Were you still in the restaurant?
I was at home. No. We left just when the first half ended, and we went run home.
Got home in time. Nice.
Yeah, we got home just in time for the second half to start. Awesome. Madison scored, and we were down. My dad was pissed. My dad was so pissed. He's like, "This I've been a Spurs supporter since I was born. It's been 50 years, and I've seen this shit all the time. I'm sorry for my language, by the way.
Sounds like us, Si.
Yeah, man. Every Spurs fan, I think, no matter
like
what
us.
your age is, you're just like, this is just normal behavior now.
Again, yeah.
I'm going to get into a few things because Joseph said some good facts. Højbjerg had a good game.
Yeah,
He had a good game. He was
Sorry,
all over the place, but he was all over the place in the right areas and at the right time. For him to stop that, do you remember the block that he did?
Yeah.
That fucking slide block.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a smooth criminal going on.
I think he does that a lot. I think
he does.
I'm quite a big fan of Højbjerg. I know that sometimes he maybe gives the ball away and sometimes like that, but in general, I think he's an actual powerhouse, and he has saved us. When you take, it's always easy to criticize when someone does things wrong, but maybe miss out on the good things. And I think it's absolutely right of you to bring some really key points to everyone's attention of tonight, because actually those particular moments are what arguably saved us potentially from going down even further. So absolutely spot on. And I think you were going to mention a couple of other players as well.
I was going to mention a couple of others. First of all, Winks had a good game.
Yeah.
He was on for quite a bit of it, and he was making good passes. He wasn't making like any goal creating passes, but he was creating passes that would go on to create opportunities.
Yeah,
which is what we need. We need an opportunity. We need an opportunity maker. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go for a controversial one. Doherty had a good game, and I'm gonna say this openly. And I know you guys. I heard that tut. I heard one of you kissed your teeth right there. I heard that.
I love it. I totally get why people are against Doherty, and it's the same as why they're against Bergwijn, Lo Celso, because we expect more from them. We know they got it in their locker. We know Bergwijn. Remember his debut against City? Yeah. That incredible goal, his passion, his energy, and then it just went. It just disappeared. I know his injuries and stuff, but that was a while back now. But more recently, he has been coming back into the fold and playing well. And Doherty, for me, we were all saying at half time, weren't we? We were like, I can't believe Doherty is being put on that pitch. But he has obviously responded, whether it be Conte in the background over the last week or so, saying, like, you need to do better. And clearly Emerson wasn't doing the job. So I don't believe for 1 second it was injury. I couldn't see Emerson injured or anything like that. And to be honest, based on Emerson's performance, I think it was absolutely right to have taken him off. And like the guys said before, is the only option we got is Doherty. So he comes on with a bit more pizzazz than he usually does. He was in positive positions. Maybe, he gave the ball away a couple of times, but he was in and out around that area. And I'm pretty sure of our second goal was because he was mingling about in those front areas, which is what he used to do at Wolves, albeit not in the wide positions. He was more in the central. And it's back to Stelios' point about attacking that middle thing, because that's where our strength is. But you're absolutely right, mate. I think Doherty, the credit is due, but I don't want this to just be one game. If he plays against Chelsea, if he plays next week, I want to see that commitment plus more for sure. We can't just go, well done, Doherty, and then the next week he's gone back to being absolute pony again. But I think you're right, mate, to bring that point up.
Maybe he looks like a great opportunity to be an impact sub in the second half, like he was played today in his correct position, not on the left side, but on the right side. He's a right wing back, not a left wing back.
Yeah.
The fact he's been played at left wing back, I have not gotten.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So the past few games where people have been criticizing, saying, "Oh, he's on terrible form, he's being absolutely atrocious," it's because he's in the wrong position.
Yeah.
He's got a right foot, not a left foot. Yeah.
I think it's fans because we just get frustrated quite easily, and then we just like.
It's because our expectations are high. Yeah. We've got high expectations, and when players don't deliver at a high level, we're used to Son,
like
Kane, Eriksen, Moussa Dembele. We're used to that level. Players. So when we don't see it, we just see it as a backward step. I think.
Absolutely. And the fact that I will give credit to players where the credit is due. Yeah, but I'll also criticize when it's needed. Doherty over the past couple of games has been nothing short of bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Right.
He has been bad. But the reason is, well, maybe the reason is at least, is because he's been on the wrong side of the pitch.
That does play
and he's been
effect,
told
sure.
to stay on a side that he's not comfortable with. He doesn't train on that side, from what I've heard. And the fact that he's on the right side, he's been put on the correct side, and you see a massive improvement, or at least a big improvement of him passing to people, doing crosses. And people were saying in the comments, and I've not got the comments up, so I don't know what people are saying.
Yeah.
People were saying in the comments that he doesn't have a good final third, and in this game it shows it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he created 3 chances. It was the front 3 and also some other midfielders who didn't completely take the they didn't have the opportunity because the defense of Leicester was even though that was like their second team defenders, they were playing decent defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
there's some great blocks from them.
I
mean, off the line a couple of times. I think twice, two occasions they had goals off the line. So it took a lot for us. As I've said, is when we switched to a more attacking. When I say attacking field, because we were attacking all game. What I mean is actual positional players in that area to put the pressure on, and that's where we're so effective. And I want to see more of that.
So,
I really want to see more of that.
I'm just looking at SofaScore. They seem to be the one that most fans go to, and they gave Doherty 7.2, which was the average mark for the team tonight. So they never said he was poor, but they never said he was great. They said he was average. And I think
through the comments, they were saying he was bad. So.
Yeah, no. Listen, for me, Miles, what I was saying to Simon earlier, my view on Doherty tonight is because we're used to him being a 2 or a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, crap.
If he puts in a 5 or a 6 out of 10, it feels like a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
I don't think Doherty was anything great tonight, but I don't think he was bad. I thought he put in a shift. He got into the right positions.
Absolutely.
He did find himself in an attacking central penalty box type situation, which did cause confusion, a bit of chaos. And one of those situations did lead to the Bergwijn equaliser. But for me, it's I want to see Doherty do what he was brought in to do, which is lots of dangerous crosses into the box, assists being created off the back of it, and basically, what we bought him for from Wolves. But I want to see him do it against Chelsea the next game we play. I want to see him do it when we play Arsenal. Exactly. I want to see him do it when we play West Ham at home. I want to see him do it in the Carabao Cup, and I never see that with him. So until I see that, I'm still of the mindset I'm not really bothered by Doherty. But I will agree tonight, that's probably the best performance we've seen from him in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that
was quite a diplomatic answer I gave you there.
that was an amazing answer. I was taken back for a second after that. I'm going to say this was. Some people were saying it was a too close of a match to celebrate. There was also that. And I know that was a very minority group. I'm just going to make that group, hopefully make that group a little bit smaller with a little bit of facts that I've got on my phone here. Yeah. Leicester had 14 shots, 4 of them on target. We had 27 and 10 on target. The possession was too close to count. I know that one of you does not like the idea of counting possession in the stats.
Yeah. No, dude, that's me. This is about you now. This is about you.
Yeah. The passes were also fairly close, but that's to be expected. We're not the best when it comes to possession. We're not the best when it comes to passing. We don't outnumber in regards to possession or passing. We never do.
Sure.
That's a thing that we naturally do. Fouls, let's not go on to that. Pass accuracy, though, we had 87% pass accuracy. They had 86. Yes, 87 does not sound great. And if you looked at most of the passes, you could see that we were giving away 1 too many, maybe 2 too many, or several too many, but still. The fact that we were attacking in an away game under a new, I say newish manager now, who I absolutely love, Conte. He is by far my favorite. Ever since I saw the video of him when he got sacked by Chelsea, that like angry video when he says to Chelsea, I hope they get relegated. I watched that like 3 years ago. He's been like one of my favorite managers. Yeah, because I just see passion in the way that he acts.
Yeah.
And my brother is not a big football supporter, but he has become a good Spurs supporter ever since Conte came in because the
good lad
the change he has brought to the team.
Yeah. Energy and passion.
We have not seen this much improvement, and we've seen this is more improvement. I would say we've not seen this much improvement in a very long time.
Yeah.
But I've not seen anything near this caliber since early Poch.
Do you know what? That's a pretty fair comment to make. You know, when's the last time we saw this level of improvement?
You remember when Pochettino?
You're talking about results at the moment, or you're talking about the way we play as well.
Way we play, it's. I say Mourinho was also probably a bit more on the.
So it's results. It's results.
It's results.
Do you know what? I think that's a fair comment to make, and I don't really think Conte can do much more with the players he's got.
Yeah.
Look, we need a lot of new signings if we're really going to be serious as a team. I think in terms of the style of play, I think we can certainly be better. I do. I've seen Potter doing it at Brighton with a lesser quality squad. I've seen the Wolves manager going to Wolves. He's got them playing lovely football. There's an uplift at Aston Villa the way they're playing under Gerrard. So I do believe the style can be improved, but I also think that Conte inherited a fucking mess.
Yeah.
We were toxic, man. We were such a toxic club. I don't think Wolves were toxic. I don't think Brighton were toxic. They're used to that. We became toxic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of psychological
There's a lot of anger behind every Spurs fan.
There's a lot of behind the scenes issues that have affected the first team, and we've got players at the club we don't even want, like Ndombele, Dele Alli. Whereas have Wolves and Brighton got those issues?
And they don't want to be there, probably either.
No.
Yeah, have Villa got those issues?
No.
So he's inherited a real mess. So I think it's a fair comment to say it's a big improvement.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say this? If we this is a hypothetical. I'm just going to say this outright. It's a
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, Mars.
Yeah. If Nuno, I can't say his name properly. I never have got it right. Correct.
Nuno, yeah.
Nuno, is it Nuno? Okay.
Yeah.
If Nuno was still manager at the moment, first of all, everyone would be very much pissed off.
We'd be relegated.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You have to put into perspective. We're in a top 4 battle, and we're probably in the lead of that top 4 battle at the moment. You can also put in perspective that if Nuno was in control, Wolves would be above us by now. Brighton would probably be above us. Leicester would be above us. Man United, a lot of teams would be above us.
Yeah.
We'd be like Newcastle. We'd be like Newcastle. We'd be in the mud.
We would Watford
not
at the
that
moment.
bad,
but Watford, as of like right now, like the idea of them fighting to stay out of relegation, like that sort of trash was how we were playing. I can honestly say that the fact that we have not lost, is it like our 9 games in the Premier League or is it 8?
I believe it's 9.
Yeah, it's actually a fantastic statistic of Conte's at the moment of the record.
No manager's done it. No manager at Spurs has done it.
Yeah, you're right.
No manager at Spurs has done it. This is a new era for us. You have to put it into that perspective. Hopefully, if Levy does his damn job.
Yeah. Miles, talking about new era, because we've got to move on to the next caller. We want to ask you one question before we let you go.
The big question.
You know what's coming, right?
Yep.
Top 4 without signings? Is it on or not? It's not. Every fan but one has said that. Every fan agrees on that. Even after tonight's euphoric win, everyone still says top 4 isn't going to happen without signings. It's quite unbelievable, really, how unanimous everyone. I agree with you, by the way, on that. It's quite unanimous though so far.
I'm pretty unanimous.
I'm surprised a bit by it.
I'm going to say a little bit as well. With the way that we are playing at the moment, yes, I'm no, because I want signings. I want this person to spend some of his good old coin to get us some good flipping talent. Yeah. We have talent. We have Mora, Son, Kane. We have a good front.
It's not enough,
mid
though, is
and
it?
back.
It's not
We
enough.
need more.
No, it's not enough.
We need more.
Yeah.
The fact that when Dyer and Romero go out, that's it. We've got no defense. Sanchez and Davis are the only thing we have. Tanganga, he tries, but he's not good enough. Yeah, he tries, and I can give him credit for him. He's fighting, but he's just. I don't think he's good enough for the Spurs shirt. Yeah. He conceded too many goals at the Chelsea. He conceded one goal here, one or two goals. No, one goal here. Yeah, we can't be having that when we're trying to fight for a top four, or we're trying to get cups, or we're trying to get anywhere. Yeah. So do I think we need new signings? Yes. Would I like a Frank Kessie? Absolutely. Even though he's maybe not the main spot we need. We need a centre back. We need a right back. We need a wing.
We need
couple of
loads.
wing backs.
We need lots.
We need a lot. We need a lot in a money different places.
Creative mid, scoring midfielder, squad.
In this transfer, in the January transfer, I'll take minimum two transfers, and I'll be happy. If not, then I'm not going to be happy. And I'm sorry. I am Levy out. I'm going to openly say that I am Levy out. I've been Levy out since since before that since they sacked Mourinho in 11 days before a goddamn final. So to hear this, to see him doing the same shit he's done under Poch, under Mourinho, and we probably would have definitely done under Nuno. I'm sorry. He needs to change his ways, otherwise we're not going to be fighting for top four, which is what he wants.
The more results Conte gets like this, the more he proves that he's working miracles, the more the fans are going to demand he's backed, because if he can do what he's doing now without backing, imagine what he'll do with backing. So if we don't back him, you're going to see a united front against Levy on this. I'm convinced by it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But Mars, listen, buddy, you've been a great call tonight. We've got to move on. We've still got quite a few to go through, and Simon's got to drive all the way back to Portsmouth tonight. Bless him.
Oh my God! Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave.
I got told off very much so the last time. We didn't leave it till 3:30, and I got an earful. So I'm not doing that again.
Completely understandable. All right.
We're trying to save his marriage.
Fair. Yo, thank you guys for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to leave you guys with Adam, Brandon, and the bun. So I'll see you guys.
Nice one, brother. Thank you.
So let Miles.
Leave you out, but come on, you Spurs.
Leave you out, and come on, you Spurs. The next caller coming on is Adam William Cahill. What a name. I did, Adam.
What's the story, boys?
What's the story? We've had a full high intensity workout in the studio.
Honestly,
in 5 minutes.
Honestly, I'm ready to get a sleeping bag out. Crazy.
That was one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, no joke. I know it sounds like hyperbole, but no, that is one of the greatest games I've ever seen. Because the thing that we need to understand about this now, and the dynamic shift that there's been for Spurs, is that this is the kind of thing that champions do. You know, like, so this is what the Conte effect. He's brought this into our side now, where we're the kind of team that can be 2-1 down in stoppage time and win. That is not what Spurs used to do. Every single time that anyone has sat back and called us Spursy, it's because of exactly like things like that. We would never have been able to overcome something like that in the past. And now that we've shown that we can do so under Conte, people need to recognize we are not Spursy anymore. I don't care about previous losses here and there, but like, we were undefeated in the Premier League since Conte's come in, and we are on a brand new trajectory. And I'm so like, it was absolutely. I kid you not, guys. I was over in my brother's house watching the game, and he has a 70-inch television in his big sitting room. And as soon as Stevie B scored that second goal, I slid across that hardwood floor on my knees like I had just scored the goal myself.
I'm glad you didn't smash the TV, though.
I'm glad I didn't wake up the children, because I was screaming. And seriously, it was unbelievable. So like, that I've never felt like that watching a game before.
Only Spurs can do that to us. Only Spurs can give you that emotion.
Do you think, Adam? So like, I think before the Arsenal game was supposed to be on, I remember seeing an interview of Harry Kane. He was saying that if the Arsenal game went ahead and we had won that, he said that would be a turning point in our season. But obviously that game didn't happen. But today, the powers that be, the universe has collided, and we've somehow managed to go from 2-1 down. Let's just reiterate this. We were 2-1 down in what 94 minutes.
95th minute.
94 minutes and 52 seconds.
Do you realize that's a record as well, by the way?
It is. City 91-14. They won it. So we were 94 minutes and 52 seconds, and we won 3-2. So forget the Arsenal thing. Obviously, didn't happen.
Deserves a trophy.
Can we at least say, like, could Harry Kane's comment still be valid today to say that actually, based on what's happened tonight, because of that magic feeling, the principle, the feeling, the energy that's going to come from that end of that game, could that be a tipping point for us to actually go, we can push for this? And I know we can obviously add players and everything like that, but I always believe, and you will know more than anyone, Stelios, with like your coaching and everything, what that kind of power could do inside you. Do you think that could be a turning point today in some aspect that we could move forward with?
Massively. I think that it's a turning point for the reason that I just said. I think that, like Conte said in his post-match interview, my team wouldn't accept defeat. And they wouldn't accept defeat in extra time at the end of the game. So, like, that's not who we used to be. At that point in the past, every time we would have accepted defeat. And this game is the one that showed that's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
So
we had that quite a lot with Poch, didn't we? I just remember so many games where it was like it was about to be a draw, but then we go and score that last
we had the fitness. We had
goal.
the fitness for the last 10, 15 minutes of games. We were such a fit team under Poch, and Conte's worked on the fitness at Tottenham. It's one of the things he said when he first came in, like, we're not fit, we can't run, we can't. So fitness plays a big part in tonight. But also, desire, mentality, hunger.
And we didn't edge out a win from a draw. We edged out a win from a loss.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
2 goals in extra time. We've never done that before. It's just mental. It's really it's crazy.
We've not done that for a long. You raised a great point, Adam, because it is literally like the 2 players that came on. We were still trying to manipulate something into this game, and almost like what I liked you just said, Adam, actually, is in previous games we've probably been like 2-1. There's 5 minutes to go. We're not really going to. We always making mistakes. We're giving the ball away. We were doing some of that to an extent today, but you hit the nail on the head to switch that game, to have the mentality in your head to think that we are 2-1 down. We need to get a draw out of this minimum.
Yeah.
A minimum, because you could tell the players weren't giving up. They didn't stop. They didn't go, oh, that's another game we've lost. Something was within them to do that, a belief. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know who instilled that. Sometimes it just happens, right? Like the Big Bang or whatever. And it's like the audacity to go and get the third.
I think it's because we were playing well. We weren't playing badly.
Yeah.
Like, we were attacking the whole game. So
but that shows the team unity, right?
That vibe and that play was there.
It's the team unity, because all of the team were like, okay, I think we can still do this. And actually, we've been drilled into us before this game, or whenever it was during training, to say that actually, if we get into a position like this again, we need to keep fighting, because that's not what the last thing we want to see. All those Spurs fans going up to Leicester and everything, and we go and throw it away.
Yeah.
Are you hit on the head?
You got to think about the fact that we have Son out, who is such a key player for us, right? Like Son is
he's our top scorer, Adam.
Player of all time.
He's our top scorer.
Absolutely. He's the top scorer, and he's honestly my favorite player of all time. We are missing Dyer, who has suddenly become absolutely pivotal to our defense. And then at halftime, we bring on Matt Doherty, and then we also bring on Bergwijn for Reggie, who I'm sure before the lineup was announced at the start of the game, we were all crossing our fingers and toes hoping Reggie would be playing, because we need him playing out there on the left. But he comes off for Bergwijn, and that's when things change into 6th gear. Do you know what I mean? So it's like people are concerned that we don't have the strength and depth in the team, and I'm not saying that we do. It's certainly the case that extra high class players do need to come in. But the fact that we were able to be down 2 of our most pivotal players, to bring Matt Doherty on at halftime, to sub off Reggie, who he's our number 1
for sure.
left wing back, and the Conte's teams are built around the wing backs. all of that shows that we're not a team that only has like 11 players to play with. We can work with the players that are on the bench. Lo Celso came off the bench as well, and did a decent job. I think that we need to have confidence in what's there, and getting anything extra will be a bonus. Getting an Adama Traore is going to be a massive bonus because we know how he can blast through players. If we get an extra central midfield player, that a creative player that we're looking for, it's a bonus. But I believe in the strength of what we have now, based on what Conte has done.
So that's
the key.
That's probably answering Stelios's famous question tonight, to be honest. So I get the feeling, because I have a similar feeling, like based on not necessarily the confidence in our team as such, but the teams around us, I don't think there's enough to say they're better than us, they're worse than us. I think it's all very mix and match. Other than the fact we haven't lost under Conte yet. The other teams have lost games, okay? So that's one thing that could go in our favour, which is why I'm sort of in my mind thinking that we could. If, I hope not, but it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get any transfers, that out of those 3 teams, I think personally that we have the ability to get 4th out of them because we have we said earlier, like the better manager. Out of the 3, the more experienced person that could deal with a situation like this, perhaps. So I feel like you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you think we can get top 4 irrespective of the signings because of the belief in the team and the structure that's building within.
Yeah, I do think it's possible. I think, of course, bringing in extra players gives us way more of a chance to do that. But if we didn't bring anybody in, which I don't think will happen, by the way, I don't think we get to the end of this transfer window and bring in no one. But if that did happen, I still believe that 4th is a possibility with the squad we have. I really do. Especially, you got to remember as well, the first half of the season, Kane was a flop. And he's back,
he did
baby.
disappear.
You know what I mean? Like today, he was incredible.
I don't blame Harry for disappearing because you've got the 10th choice manager coming in. Yeah. You've just turned down or had City turned down for whatever reason for you. And you're sat there going, why on earth am I stuck here for another year? But of course, Conte's come through the door. And the performances aren't 100% yet. We know this. And we know the players aren't 100%. But something has changed. We have not lost a game in the Premier League, irrespective of the opposition, under Conte since his arrival. You cannot argue that fact.
Yeah. And I think we need to remember, like, that's a tremendous stat, okay? But Chelsea is our next game, and we're playing at the Bridge.
Yeah.
So what I will say is, having won that game in the manner that we did, I think it will give the players the confidence that they need to go and turn things around, because we've lost against them twice now in less than a month.
Yeah.
To go to the Bridge now in the Premier League and try and get a victory, it's not going to be easy. And I just want to say up front, if we lose that game and that's the first defeat that Conte has in the Premier League, it is not the end by a country mile.
Well, Adam, we can afford to lose it now. We've actually got the games in hand. We can afford to lose that game, assuming we win all our other games in hand and still be above Chelsea now.
And it's an arguable expectation for us to lose in general anyway.
I think if we get a draw, just do whatever it takes to get a draw at Stamford Bridge. That'll be massive. Just do whatever you can. Just get the draw. Get a point. It's big because it stops Chelsea pulling away.
Yeah, and if Dyer is back by then, I think we can really do that as well. Because I think Tanganga is our biggest weakness right now. I really do. We need Sanchez back out on the right and Dyer in the middle, because Tanganga has had so many howlers. It's at least 3 games now where he has completely ruined we could have lost all the games that he screwed up in. Do you know what I mean? He really has been that bad.
I always think when I see him and when him and Emerson play together, or in that right hand side, I don't know. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or confusion. I'm not sure what it is.
Mark my words. This will be the making of Tanganga. You have to go through these bad patches.
You do.
It builds you. It makes you like this is.
But does he need to go somewhere else to become the player that he could be, or do you think he'll stay with us?
I think if we get Romero and Dyer back, there could be a possibility. But I think we're so weak.
The best place for him is at Tottenham if he gets the game time, which he is now. If Romero and Dyer come back from injury and they slot straight into Tanganga's drop, then yeah, Tanganga needs to go elsewhere because he needs game time.
Yeah, of course.
But this is how you develop a young player. They have to go through this process. Absolutely. Unfortunately, not every young player hits the ground running straight away. I mean, we spent earlier on talking about Bergwijn, how Bergwijn. Oh, look at what he did tonight. He was pretty good in the last game before he got injured. Well, what about Bergwijn for the past 2 years?
Yeah. What about Sanchez? We've been waiting for Sanchez to turn up for 4 years. Yeah. And he cost 60 odd million or something stupid.
So I just think
he's been playing fantastically lately, though, Sanchez.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like Tanganga, what if you gave him?
Sanchez.
You always talked about run of games, and I think it's absolutely important.
Run of games is everything.
You can't just have one game on, one game off, one game on, and throwing particularly Tanganga in some crazy games.
Let me explain it, okay? When you train in a certain environment, which is without fans screaming at you. It's without the pressure of an opposition player trying to put a tough challenge on you, and the environment is not as competitive.
In a difficult position as well, right?
What do you mean?
Defense.
Right, in defence. On a match day, it's a different scenario. Thousands of fans screaming at you. The pressure's on. It's all about the result. It's not about developing your skills and developing your techniques. They're two different environments. But when you're developing a player, you need both. Because this environment is different to this environment, which is why as coaches, we call the match an extension of the practice. Yeah. You can practice and train as much as you want, but the extension of that practice is the real life practice. Yeah. It's still a practice session in terms of development. You need both. One without the other doesn't work. If you were to only have one, it has to be the match, because that is the ultimate. Yeah. But training gives you the ammunition, the tools, the technique, and the know-how to deploy in a pressurized match situation. So unless you've got both, you can't develop. Hence why I always talk about game time being key.
It's very valid.
It's the key component to fulfill everything you've trained for. So without it, Tanganga has to go on loan if he's not going to get the game time. Not just him, any player.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think a loan would be best as well, though, because if he does come on strong at some point where like he gets that confidence back, and because we've seen what he can do in the very first match of the season against Man City, he had two of the best players in the Premier League in his pocket. You know what I mean? He had Sterling and Grealish in his pocket that entire game, so we know what he can do. But it's just lately he's really fallen apart. Like he has been the liability, he's been the weak link, and I can't wait till we have Dyer back or Romero back. Or
Can you believe you're saying that about Dyer?
Dude,
how our tables have turned.
Man, I was like, I think my exact words, and I'm gonna eat some humble pie here. My exact words when I first started coming on this show and talking to Ben and Sim, I said that Dyer only deserves to be around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium if he's outside serving chips from a van. So,
Adam, I was here for the Arsenal Spurs game in the studio earlier in the season.
We all wanted Dyer gone.
And I categorically said, if I see Dyer and Sanchez on another team sheet, I'm never coming near this studio or watching a Spurs game again. And that, it shows you how good Conte is, I think. Like that's the confidence. Dyer's a very confidence-driven person anyway. But I think like there's clearly some technical aspects that Conte and his coaching staff, to be fair, probably more so, have brought to the table and made them a lot stronger. And like you say, Adam, it's a switch of opinion completely for a lot of us, I think, to have the confidence to say that we missed these players when we were slating them left, right, and centre for however many seasons.
Yeah. Look, it's just we got to accept the fact that Conte is a warlock, and there's some magic going on, and we just have to accept whatever comes from it. If we're
absolutely,
if that comes back to bite us in the ass at some point down the road,
mate, just take it each game at a time. It's the best way. Adam, we've got two more callers we've got to get through, but any last comments you want to leave us with?
Just come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs, man.
Nice one, Adam.
Big up to Adam, awesome caller.
Super chat here, mate, quick from Faz. I believe we've realistically got a chance to beat Chelsea. I'm having that. I quite like that. And I think that was it. Oh, there's another new gold member, Mikkel Kraus. Thank you for joining us in the community. And I think that's it for the super chats for now. So off you go.
Next Super Spurs fan joining us is Brandon. I hope not to butcher his name, Troella. If I said that wrong, please correct me, buddy. He's going to correct me, I can tell.
He didn't like that.
Brandon, fix it up for me, man. Help me.
Oh no, I think you're on mute, mate.
Are you on mute, Brandon?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, now we're even. Now we're
no,
even.
it's a troller.
Troller, beg your pardon, man. I apologize.
All good.
Where are you calling from, Brandon?
I'm in Jersey. Jersey, U.S.
Nice.
Oh, that's New York.
Yeah. Right next to New York.
Yeah.
Like, right
So you managed to catch the game then?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Good. How did you react, my friend, to that absolute scenes of the last few minutes? I haven't seen any. I've seen some footage from some mates at the stadium as well. It looked absolutely bonkers. But how are you doing where you are?
First thing I did was I went to the stove and I made some beautiful Italian sausage
Nice.
sauce.
Send some this way, Brandon.
Yeah.
Send some this way.
We need smelly vision back.
Just for Conte.
Okay, nice. The Italian
What a
connection.
I'll say it every day of my life. What a beautiful man we have in charge. What a beautiful.
You're so fine.
every night I pray in my room, and I don't pray to God. I pray to Conte every night. Nothing else you can do.
So I guess you like him as our manager.
Oh, yes, sir.
What did you make of today then? What did you make of today? Did you feel that it was deserved? Do you think that we got lucky? Do you think that we just can't take it anymore? It's just too much stress supporting Tottenham. How do you feel?
I think Conte's gonna have a hernia by the end of the year. I mean that poor man he's like Adam just said, he's a warlock, he's a wizard. He's
starting to look like a Spurs fan though, Brandon. I think he's getting stressed like we are, seeing the emotions.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he doesn't cry himself to sleep every night like most of us. But yeah, he's definitely. There's something about a game like today, you know.
Yeah.
Something about a match like that. It just changes everything, really. I mean, 5 minutes. 5 minutes before the whistle was blown, pretty sure I'm speaking for most Spurs fans when I say that we were about to hit the red button. You know, it was about to be DEFCON 0. I mean, just no good. And yeah, I mean, Steven Bergwijn, I've been saying for quite some time. I mean, I followed him all the way back when he was at PSV for quite a bit. There's definitely a player in there, and I don't know if he's ever gonna, reach a Son or a Kane level. But do you need that out of a Steven Bergwijn? No.
Well, he's still very young, isn't he, Brandon?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Was Kane and Son amazing at the age of 20, 21?
Well, he's not 21. He's
low,
24.
I think Kane was.
Yeah, I think Bergwijn's 24.
He's 24. Beg your pardon.
No. Yeah, I mean, what was Kane doing at 24? He was just getting on Spurs, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was just about shafting Soldado off the team. Finally,
I think Kane burst on the scene at 21, 22.
Yeah,
and he hit the ground running. 22, 23. Yeah,
I think.
But he got game time. Kane got game time.
Yeah, of course. I think Bergwijn actually will really enhance himself in the positions that he was finding himself in today, and I think Conte noticed that. We were talking about the other games that he was playing in those positions before as well. He's very effective down the middle. Instead of, as you said earlier, he's hitting.
He's not a wide player. Bergwijn's not a wide player.
They kept playing Bergwijn in the wide, and I was like, well, he's not effective there. So obviously his confidence is going to keep going down. All the fans are going to get fed up, and I was one of them. But playing down that middle, he's like a threat, and Leicester couldn't handle him, in my opinion, in that performance there. And obviously, getting those 2 goals kind of half proves it in the sense that he's effective in that area, so play him there. So you're obviously a big fan of Bergwijn. Who else stood out for you today?
Sanchez was a rock. I mean, Sanchez was fantastic. I thought, you'd like him to at least get that header on target, but I think Sanchez is top 5 players most improved under Conte, 100%. I mean,
I think he's a completely different player to what he was.
And I think the thing that's really helping Sanchez is just the switch to the back three. His best performances early in his Spurs career came when he was playing alongside Vertonghen and Alderweireld together. You know what I mean? And it's some center backs are just suited for the back three, and I think that's where his niche is. I'm really happy we've been selling to Sevilla. And also I went and checked. Fabrizio Romano, he came out right after the Tottenham game and said he essentially said Bergwijn's not going to get sold now.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Yeah, and he basically said Ajax.
Yeah,
and
he watched the game basically.
Yeah, but Brandon, let me ask you a question about this, okay? Antonio Conte said he knew after a week what players he wanted, what he didn't want, but he had to do his evaluation. So he's done this evaluation. Then a couple of weeks ago, he announced, "I've done my evaluation. I've given it to the club. I need to have a meeting with the club now." Off of one game now, does Bergwijn's evaluation change? Is that how it works? Because if it does, that doesn't really fill me with a lot of positivity in the evaluation. Then, if that's the case.
Here's a more sinister thing that I think's going on here. And this could be a wild theory, but
we're going dark side.
I think that Conte would love to have Bergwijn as a player, at least a squad player. But I think what's happening as we're seeing it unfold as we still have zero signings is Levy essentially told him, yeah, we got to sell some players. So give me someone who we might be able to get 20, 30 million for. And of those players, he probably went, okay, Ndombele, Bergwijn, Dele Alli, fine. I don't think he wants to sell Bergwijn, but I think Daniel Levy realizes that Daniel, and I think Conte knows this too, that there's no way you're going to be able to get adequate value for Dele Alli or a Ndombele right now. And I think Bergwijn is the one remotely up for sale player we have that hasn't really hurt his stock too much over the years. He's always been around the same place. It's just his major his two major issues have been his end product and then his inability to stay off the injury table. But I think that he has always shown that there's immense potential there. And if you have a club like Ajax calling for him, I mean, if Ajax ever comes calling, you should probably keep the player because they know what they're doing over there in terms of getting undervalued players and flipping around for quite a bit. So, look, I unfortunately, I think the only reason that the short of the long of it is Bergwijn's up for sale because Levy told him to be. I think Conte likes him. He's got it. He's a good player. You know who I do think, well, I'm really, really concerned about is Matt Doherty after today, because I think all these people are going to go ahead and look at him and think, oh, put him in the squad. No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm on your side with this one, Brandon. But I think we're in the minority though now.
I've been saying this.
I think if you're sensible enough, you'll understand.
I don't rate him.
That. You can't just do it on one game. Like in my mind, I'm thinking Doherty's one good game this season versus however many other games we played would be in the other pool. He's got a lot more to do. And
he's 30 years old. His age isn't working in his favour.
We know he's not a long-term solution for sure.
The way that I look like I've been looking at Doherty and Ndombele is they're basically SoundCloud rappers. Right, they put out one decent song on SoundCloud, and then all of a sudden this record comes to sign with this massive deal, invest all this money in them. Right? I mean, they both had one good season for their respective clubs, like one, essentially. Right? And it's not to say that Ndombele doesn't have the talent, but don't be fooled. Matt Doherty is still a SoundCloud rapper, and he's never going to be anything better than that.
SoundCloud rapper.
He's never going to be Jay-Z. He's not Kanye. No, get him out of here. I don't want him. I mean, and especially a player like Adama would have affected a game like today where so much because Leicester, given the fact that they were so plagued with injuries, and again, props to them for not pulling a gunner. But when you've got a dog defense like that, a player like Traore just open up a world that Kane has never occupied, right? I mean, Kane was launching shots from 30, 40, 100 yards out because he couldn't find space. You need someone like Traore or a Bergwijn to help Lucas open that up. You can't, and I think this might fall a little bit on Conte. You can't put three holding midfielders in the midfield.
That's what Si was saying earlier on.
Yeah,
it's mad. It's mad. I do think though that's because of just nervousness in our defence. Mourinho did the same. He played, I think, with two defensive midfielders because there's no confidence in defence. I mean, it's proven again today. Like Sanchez had a great, great game, but it was again individual awful defensive positioning and mistakes that cost us again 2 goals. If in general, I'm not taking anything away from this amazing game that we've seen today, but if Leicester had a full power team today, and I'm talking about like Vardy up top and no key players throughout spine, I think we would have been in a lot more trouble. But I was surprised to see 3 defensive midfielders against arguably the average Leicester side that we would have seen maybe in comparison to what we would normally have seen. I didn't quite understand that. However, I can't remember if it was earlier, but maybe it was Ben or someone saying that actually having the 2 defensive midfielders doesn't mean it's 2 of the same midfielders throughout the whole game. Actually, what was happening is Skip and Winks were partially taking turns to move forwards, and in parts of the game it was working because Harry Winks was getting balls through, which we haven't seen for a long time. Skip was doing the same, balls around the back. That's maybe what the philosophy was behind that, but maybe proving the point we don't have a player that sits in that middle pocket at the top end. Maybe, just maybe, we've found some answers tonight as to actually who can we rely on. I'm talking about Stevie B here, obviously, like in that very nice funneled middle position, and that's maybe the learnings. That's the learnings from today. Not just a potential turning point, but actually finding some more answers for these questions we've had.
I think Winks deserves a shout for probably is going to be another underlooked or overlooked performance out there. I think he was great. I think he's been spot on. He was spot on. I haven't seen him have a bad match since Conte came in, which is whew. And the most worrying thing to me about today, though, because don't get me wrong, phenomenal day.
Yeah.
Top 5 best days ever watching this sport.
Yeah.
But Emerson, oh my God. So there was one specific movement that really shot shivers up my spine. When Skip, it was toward the end of the first half, Skip was driving forward. He had Emerson wide open on the right flank, wide open, looked at him, and then said, no, I'm just going to shoot from long range. Skip. Now, you could chalk that off as just, he's a young player, he's trying to go for glory, whatever. I think he saw Emerson and has remembered maybe 100 times that he's passed the ball to Emerson in that position before, and thought, well, he's maybe made 2 or 3 chances out of that 100.
Yeah.
I don't think the players trust Emerson, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I have no idea. Emerson might be great, he is young as well, but he wasn't bought for Conte's system.
We need to stop this nervousness. I think that's the key thing. The players need to just up themselves mentally in some capacity.
Brandon, we've got one more caller to go through. Before we end the call with you, we've got to ask you the same question. And just listening to everything you've said about the players tonight, do we get top 4 without any signings this window, in your opinion?
No. We maybe get Conference League, maybe Europa League. If we're teetering the line where if we get 1 or 2 more key injuries, like even just 1, you could say we're done. I mean, it could be a free fall, really. And
depth,
the depth is an issue.
It's just not there. We still have our entire right flank barren like a baby butt naked in Antarctica. It's not good, and it's just not. If you look at the other sides who are vying, you'd probably say that Man United is the only other one with a massive, glaring problem. You know, they have no midfield to speak of, really. But West Ham even has better squad depth than we do. You know, that's not okay. That's really not okay. And I don't know. I'm nervous. I think we need not just one. I think we need two, more realistically 3, to feel remotely comfortable. But knowing Levy, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, there's 11 days to go. We're going to find out. I think a lot of fans would agree with your view on that with Levy, probably not. But we live in hope. That's all we do as Spurs fans. Brandon, your final words, buddy, before we let you go.
Get Jeji Spence in the club. He beat Arsenal single-handedly. Get him in the club. That's all I want.
Oh, the right back from Forest. Yeah. Good shout. Thanks,
Definitely. Brandon. Absolutely here. Enjoy
Brandon,
the spaghetti.
All the best. Tottenham Hotspur left it late tonight. They left their best till last, and we've also left the best till last. He's the one.
Few super chats, Bun. Quickly, 2 seconds.
I was just about to big him up as well. I'll reload my big up.
Pause him.
I'm gonna put him on
Johnny
pause.
Russell, why are you guys focusing on the negative? Okay. Great.
So why are we focusing on the negative?
Yeah.
Oh, are we?
I don't know.
Okay.
Danny will tell us.
Great
Great team win, season changer. This is from Johnny. Oh, he's done another one a minute later. Great team win, season changer. Let's stay positive and hope Conte gets us top 4. Common Spurs love the pod, Spur boys. So yeah, I guess I don't think we're being negative. I think it's more like.
Sorry, guys, we crashed again, but we are back alive, I hope. Tottenham saved the best till last, and we've also saved the best till last. We've got the one and only Danny Kiriakou. It's the bun.
How are you doing, Stel? How's everyone doing?
I'm good. Size had to go because his wife's going to kill him. So
yeah, that's fine.
He sends his love to you. But Danny, listen, how are you doing, man, after that?
Well, do you know what? I want to just say my man of the match was Soyuncu. I think he was absolutely brilliant. He was fucking amazing what he did. I mean, I've never seen such a good performance from him. I mean, what he did, what he said to Bergwijn just lit some fire in that guy's belly, and he just absolutely blasted them away. Absolutely blasted them away. I was unbelievable, mate. I mean, 95th minute pretty much, and it was 95 minutes on the clock, and we go and score 2 goals and win the game like that. It's just unbelievable.
Motivational talk of the season from Soyuncu for Bergwijn, right?
Oh, 100%. I think we should hire him as Bergwijn's motivator. I mean, we should have him as the guy on the sidelines in the changing rooms. Actually, just get him in his ear every game, and he'll do a performance like that. Brilliant.
I think Conte might have a potential psychologist assistant for.
I think so, Stel. I think so. Oh man! Oh, what a game!
What did you make of the overall performance from Spurs? Because things began to get a little bit negative around about 75 minutes, and then 80 minutes, everyone was panicking. By the 90th minute, everyone was like, same shit, different day, same old Spurs, always bottle it. And then by the 97th minute, we're going crazy. How did you feel by the performance overall by Spurs?
Overall, I think we dominated possession, we dominated the ball, right, and the chances, but I think we lacked again a little bit of that kind of, I don't know, what maybe a bit of that creativity in the game, like in the midfield. I think that's where we lacked a little bit, and I think if we, it's hard to say, right, because on based on like what the chances we had, we should have scored 5 goals in that match easily.
Yeah, but
they didn't do it, and a lot of it was, I think, in periods in the game, what I saw, we weren't as, how do I say it? What's the best way to say it? We weren't as efficient in possession as we could have been. Like, we could have been a lot more efficient. It was a little bit of like they were trying a lot of different things and nothing was working. But look, end of the day, the thing is, right, we have to give it a bit of luck for the way we kind of got the extra minute to actually have the ability to go and win that game, because yeah, that's a big point. But I mean, yeah, look, we know the players are still not good enough, right? Harry Winks today, he for me, I didn't like. I thought he was awful. I thought he was really bad today.
Really, Danny?
Yeah, do you know what it is, though? Do you know what? Right, I'll tell you what. Yeah. With Winks today, the best thing that came from Winks being on that field is that it allowed Højbjerg and Skip to press higher up the pitch, right, and win the ball further up the pitch, and that's the best thing about having him on the pitch today was. But I don't think he had the greatest performance. I think he was all right, but it wasn't like his best performance. I think.
So you agree with Conte subbing him then?
Yeah, I wanted him off. And Lucas Moura, I think he was probably the worst player for us today.
I thought Lucas Moura had a bad game today.
Yeah, he looked. Yeah, him and Emerson as well. Yeah, Emerson, he just looked like lost of. He just like he had no confidence whatsoever. It just looked like a man lost today, and it was a good decision bringing him off. I wasn't sure who was going to bring him on for, but the only other option we had was Doherty, so you saw that was going to happen, and. Yeah, Moura, I don't know. Today, you know what Moira's like? He has these games where sometimes he just goes a bit off and he's just not at the races. And today was one of those days where he just wasn't the usual Lucas Moura, where he was driving, picking up. He was winning a few balls and stuff, but it just looked a bit tired. It just looked a bit lethargic. He just looked a bit like his focus wasn't fully there. Yeah, and I think it was the right decision. To bring Bergwijn on. I mean, a lot of fans were calling for him to come on sooner for Moura, but yeah, it's the same old story with Spurs, isn't it? Like we struggled to get that gate. We struggled to get that victory. I'm glad we got the victory, and I'm absolutely buzzing we got it. But there is also the element of
where were you when we scored the winning goal?
Oh, I was watching it in my room, so I was watching it, but my stream was like a minute behind. So my dad had already seen the game finish, and obviously he said he was going to come over and ruin it for me, and I'm glad he fucking didn't. I was going absolutely mad.
So your WhatsApp and Twitter must have blown up a minute before you knew that we scored.
I wasn't even. Do you know what? I wasn't even looking at it. So I was just watching I was just watching the TV on the stream, and. Yeah, and it was fucking amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. For me, Harry Kane was probably, I think, our man of the match. For me,
yeah, he was good.
I think he was brilliant, and if it wasn't for that brilliant pass as well at the end, that chance wouldn't have happened. With Harry Kane, I do feel a little bit for him today, because there's a lot of times where you saw how many long shots he had today, right? He had quite a few long distance shots. No supporting runners, exactly. The amount of times, if you watch Harry Kane, right, the amount of times he's looking to his left and right, he's looking around and no one's there. Literally no one's fucking there. So he's like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to have a go. And that's what he did. And it's a shame none of them came off. But you know that he wanted some runners there today. And Yeah, I just don't want Bergwijn to leave. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time, right? I think he's such an important player, and Conte said it today. And I know Bergwijn's had his ups and downs, right? But Bergwijn hasn't ever had a proper run in this team because of the injuries, because of management changes, because of a little bit of form sometimes not playing the way that he needs to play. Because in the two last managers, they've been very pragmatic defensive managers. He's a direct player. He's an attacking player. When you're telling a direct player like that to go and do defensive work and go and defend and play on the counter, it's not where you want him to play. You want him to play on the front foot.
Danny,
you want him to play running at players, right?
I think a lot of our players are like Si and I were chatting tonight. I think we should be more central in our attack. I'm all for. We should attack from the wide areas and the middle, but I just feel the wide areas is one of our weaknesses. I don't rate Doherty.
Yeah.
I don't think Emerson's that great. I personally think we should play with two wingers. So Son on the left and maybe Brian Hill on the right. I think we should go to two centre backs, a left and a right back, and play with three players in the middle, one holding mid, either Skip or Højbjerg, and then two attacking mids, whether it's Bergwijn and Lo Celso, or Bergwijn and Moura, or Bergwijn and Winks, or whatever combination, and just Kane up top. I think Spurs are better suited to that until Conte gets his players in. Like, what do you think of that? Or do you think, no, we've got to do it Conte's way now?
It's a hard one because I understand that he doesn't have the players that for the way he wants to play, right? I think we can all see he wants to. I think what he wants to do at Spurs is a 3-5-2, right? That's the way I think he wants to go.
But we don't have two strikers.
Yeah, I know we don't have two strikers, and that's the biggest problem. Now, obviously, when you have Son back, he's going to play Son and Kane, right? It's a no-brainer. But we haven't got options when one of them's not playing well, or we need to change it up. Now, I think Bergwijn can be the option until they go and get a striker in the summer. Because let's be honest, we're not going to go get a striker now. It's not happening. Now, it's never happening, right? Now, my concern is if Bergwijn is sold to Ajax, then you bring in Traoré, you're taking away an attacker who I think's better up front than say Traoré is for someone who you're going to bring in as a right wing back. Now, then you lose the options if a player gets injured up front. Now, Bergwijn could do that, probably play that role, right, in the Conte system, and probably be all right. Like, he'd probably be able to cope as long as like one of the big players is still there, as long as Son or Kane is still playing. Right, I think he'll do a job. But yeah, I'm very worried if Bergwijn goes. I think we're going to be in for a long season if he goes and we don't get another striker or another attacker player in.
I think there's other players that should be sold before Bergwijn.
Oh, 100%.
That need to go before Bergwijn. If Bergwijn is to go, that is.
Yeah, 100%. Like Brendan was saying before, if it does seem that Conte wants him, right? Even tonight, he said Bergwijn's an important player for me. He can play as a striker. He can do this and that. And he was saying that Bergwijn's characteristics, there isn't anyone else in the squad that's got the same characteristics as him, right? And that's telling the way, for me, what I got from his post-match interview on the pitch side was that he's basically saying to the board, don't sell him. I need this guy. Like, I need him in my squad. That's what I got from that, right? Because you go and sell him when he's already said we need more players, right? Then it's quite damning because then you just go to show what Levy's about, to be honest with you. And we know what Levy's about, but it might show it to some more fans because, yeah, could you imagine if we take Bergwijn out of this team and Traoré comes in on a loan obligation to buy? We don't even have to pay out anyone at the moment.
I think it'd be confusing if we... In fact, Danny, do you know what? Do you think tonight's result puts more pressure on the board and Levy, or do you think it relieves some of the pressure?
Oh, more pressure. 100% more pressure. Because I think because if they make the wrong decisions now in the next what, 11 days, 12 days in the transfer window, 10 days, whatever it is, it's going to be detrimental to the rest of the season, and it's going to affect the next year or so with Conte, because if you can't push for that top four now, right, in the summer, it's going to restrict the type of and the quality of player that we can bring in.
Yeah, but look at the result we got today. We don't need any more players. Look at us. We're doing great.
Yeah. So yeah, we know what that is. Though
that's going to be.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't mean that, but that's
Yeah,
the
I know,
argument, isn't
you
it?
know.
That's what. The
Of course.
argument's going to be.
Of course it is. I mean, the thing is, right? Look, with the squad we got, I know you've asked some other people this. With the squad we got, if they can stay fit, we can get top 4. Once after the international break, supposedly Dyer, Romero, and Son are all going to be back, right? Yeah. As soon as they all go straight into the starting 11, right? As soon as they all go into the starting 11, our defense is 3 times stronger than what it is right now, right? They get they've got leadership back there, you've got ability back there, and you've got someone like Davis who's reliable, right? Mm-hmm. In that back 3, it shores it up so much more than what we're getting now. Then you go and add Son into that, and it gives us another dimension. And if Son can start finding a run of form, because he's kind of been patchy this season, even though he's our top scorer, if he can hit the ground running like Kane's starting to do now, because obviously Son hasn't been at the best, but he's our top scorer. Kane was awful the first part of the season. Yeah. Now, if they both can start hitting form like they did at the beginning of last season, we can easily get top 4, right? There's no because we have the best manager in the top 4 race. We've got the best manager out of everyone, right? But if we get the injuries to some key players like we have at the moment, we're going to struggle to get results, and we could maybe just about get over the line like we did tonight. But against other teams, maybe the top teams, we're not going to get results against them.
So are we going to go 19 more league games plus FA Cup, and without injuries and suspensions?
No.
Or so then we do need to sign players, right?
Well, this is my point. I mean, it would be very, very lucky if we don't get injuries, right? And if that was the case and we don't get injuries, with this squad, we can, but we know that injuries are going to happen. So in that respect, we need players. We need like everyone's alluding to. We need 2 players minimum. 2 players, absolute bare minimum. I would go and get Traore. Now I know Traore is not like everyone's cup of tea. I think he'd be a good sign-in. I think he'd offer a lot that's not on that pitch at the moment, because of what he does by attracting players to him. Opens up space for a lot better players than say Wolves have on the counter, on the break, and stuff like that. And he does cause loads of defensive problems. He just does. Also with him, he's a ball carrier. He can carry the ball up the pitch. We haven't got a lot of ball carriers in this team, right? We're lacking a ball carrier, and we need it. So I think he will offer a lot. And then I think the other key position for me right now, I'd probably say central midfield. We need a central midfielder. We need someone badly. Now, the problem is, are we going to get anyone that's going to be that we can actually get anyone in January right now that's going to be a lot better than what we have right now? I'm not so sure because of what other clubs, if they will allow it or not. I mean, can you name a midfielder still that we could potentially realistically get right now in January?
You can get whoever you want if you pay the money. I mean,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Realistically,
I think McKennie can be done now.
I was saying that tonight. I was saying McKennie for me would be the one that I would go and get right now, who would instantly get into the first team and instantly improve our team.
I think the most important thing we need is a goal-scoring midfielder. I keep saying it. We need a midfielder that can score goals. It's all good getting a box-to-box player, but who's he going to give it to when he gets to the other box?
Well,
and it's all good getting a centre mid. Great, he links up all the play. We need someone to help Kane and Son with goals. I mean, Bergwijn did it tonight. Against Morecambe, Mora did it. But we need someone consistently that can get 10, 12, 14 goals a year from midfield.
Yeah, we definitely need that. We need 2 midfielders. We need a destroyer, and we need like you said, a creative midfielder who can score goals. Look, I was saying this tonight on David's channel earlier on, that we need someone like a Ruben Neves. We need someone who can retain possession, distribute the ball, right? For me, Neves is my dream signing for Tottenham because of what he offers, right? Premier League proven, right? He's good at set pieces and he's a good set piece taker. He's good at corners. He's very good defensively. He's very good at breaking the lines. He's a very good passer, crosser. He's got very good vision. He can long distance shooter. He's got everything. He's got everything you want, and he's young. He's 24 years old. So Yeah, I mean, he would be my top choice, and I think that's who we need to go for in the summer. But right now, we need to try and get a midfielder and this right wing back. And if I'm honest, I don't really want Bergwijn to leave. If he leaves, we're fucked. I'm telling you, we're fucked. We ain't gonna get anyone else to replace him.
Yeah, because we've left it so late now. It's difficult to start saying get rid of players that have found a little bit of form now. It's almost sending out the wrong message to the rest of the players as well, isn't it? It's not really fitting Brian Hill, who we want him to put in the kind of performance we saw from Bergwijn tonight. It's kind of saying to Brian Hill, we're not too bothered if you do well because we're going to sell you anyway. So I hear what you're saying. I do.
I mean, look, it's going to be an interesting next 10 days or so in the transfer window, right? To see what happens, who we bring in, if we bring in anyone. You know my thoughts, though. I'd be very shocked if we bring in one player, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to sign anyone. I honestly don't believe we're going to sign anyone, especially if we decide not to sell Bergwijn. You can just see it now. Oh, we don't have enough money for Traoré, even though they're trying to do a loan to obligation to buy, apparently. And you're not even having to pay anything right now. It's probably a small loan fee, right? And then the rest of the money for the obligation afterwards. It's the same old Tottenham, same old Daniel Levy, same old the way they do shit. So, and this is the thing, right? We've been in this situation before where we were like, do you know what? All we need is one or two players right now, right? Just one or two players that can maybe
Harry
help
Redknapp,
us.
It was the same time, January. He said, get me Tevez and get me Samba, and I'll get you what you want, and we didn't do it. And it's the same again. Get Conte one or two players and he'll get us top four. You're right, it's the same again.
Yeah, it's the same again. And we know what's going to happen is if they do get anyone, I think it'll be Traoré. It's the only player I think will get in, but I just can't even see that right now. You can just see the excuses coming out afterwards. Oh, Wolves said we don't want to sell him now. They tried to up the price, so we're not going to pay it, and all this and that. You can just see it. You can just see it. But if they do pull out something out of the hat, it'd be really surprising, really nice, and I think we all need that, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was. I just don't know if we can. I just don't know if we're going to keep this up for the rest of the season. I think Chelsea's going to be another big test. We'll have to wait and see if Dyer's back for that. We might get lucky and he might be back for that. That'd be brilliant if he's back for that.
We just don't get luck at Stamford Bridge. Nothing like
no,
VAR
we don't.
Screws us. Referees screw us with it. We've always got Jaffet, if he's not scoring own goals, then Trippier's passing the ball into our own.
Yeah, do you remember?
Everything just seems to just go wrong for us there.
It's a psychological block still. It's a psychological block. It's a mental issue.
We're cursed at Stamford Bridge. We're cursed.
No, do you know what it is? It's not. It's the psychological block on the players. And they go to Stamford Bridge. They have this thing in their head. They know that we've won once in 30 years at Stamford Bridge. And if they think about that, then they play like that on the pitch. And they're like, oh shit, we haven't won here in such a long time, or we only won once in 30 years. And it gets into their heads. They need to forget about that and think about, I don't give a fuck who you are. We're going to go out and win this game. That's the mentality they got to have when they go into a game like that.
We need to take the game to Chelsea and not go there being so defensive. And
exactly. 100%.
Don't be worried about Chelsea. Let them worry about us.
I agree. Play like we did tonight. Attack them. Go for them. Right. Be brave. That's what we need. And I think he has to go. He has to do the same team and same formation as he did tonight. I think it's the only way you've got a chance of beating Chelsea. The only player I would change from tonight would probably be Mora, and put Bergwijn on to start. That's what I'd probably do.
Yeah, Mora is a good impact sub as well. He does come off the bench and score goals, so I don't disagree. Danny,
yeah,
you are the last caller tonight. I've got to wrap it up because I've got people telling me off that I've been going on too long again. He's done it again.
Sterling Alley's done it again.
Don't you start. Listen, I'm going to leave the final word with you, Danny. What's your final take on Tottenham today and for the rest of this month?
I got 2 words, and this is it. Do you know what? I haven't got 2 words. Daniel Levy, you bold prick. Back Conte.
Back Conte. Love it. Love it, man. Danny, thank you for calling in. Always.
Pleasure, Stel.
Brother from
Good
another
to see
mother.
you, man. Definitely, brother. Take it easy, Stel. You can go home now and Piss off.
Piss off, still. Danny, big up. Guys, that wraps up the fan show tonight. Unbelievable game. I mean, one we're not going to forget for a very long time. Thank you to everyone for calling in tonight and for all your comments and super chats. Quick shout out to the sponsor, Manscaped. Awesome stuff from the sponsors. If anyone wants to see more of me, you can sign up to my channel on YouTube, Tottenham Away, and you can also find me on Twitter at Tottenham Away as well. And also make sure you sign, subscribe, like, and show your love to the We Are Tottenham TV channel. As always, big up Ben and Sim. And on that note, come on, you Spurs.